Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We are live, and we're going to be this morning. We're going to have some conversation, continue our conversation on investments. But I want to, before we get started, I want to go ahead and do some quick promotions. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, share with your friends. This would be one. If you have kids, teens, this would be a show that you would definitely want them to tune in, get some information. I'm going to share YouTube to my Facebook, and I'm also going to share in the groups. And so if you can help me out and share, that would be phenomenal. Okay? All right. So what I have today with me on the panel, I have my brother Chris with me on the panel. And if anyone else wants to join in, and you in that Train Millionaires group, you will see the link there. Any of the investors, and the link to join will also be in the investment group. Okay, and we would definitely greatly appreciate it if you guys tune in. Those who have investment knowledge, we want you to join the panel if you have the time to dedicate today to join in on our discussion. It will be greatly appreciated. All right. All right. So I have a couple more to share to the group. I hope you guys had a good love day yesterday. Hope you went out and you loved on somebody. That will be a beautiful thing. And I hope they loved on you back. And then if you didn't have anyone to love on, hope you loved on yourself. Self first. Definitely make sure you show yourself some love first, regardless of anything else. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. Yep, that's my message. That's what it is. Okay. All right. So I almost got us covered out here in this social media world, and then I'll be ready to rock, ready to roll. If you have a group you want to share it in, I would definitely appreciate you. Go ahead and share out there, and I appreciate those who allow me to share in their groups. It's definitely an honor to have others who build their platform allow you to share your content. Okay. So, yeah, without further ado, let me go ahead and get my marketing out. As you guys know, I only get out and market when I'm doing something for the community. I'm involved in a lot. So I'll start with myself first, do some self marketing, some self promotions. Y'all know my motto is train, transition relationships, and innovative networking. So I'm always looking to see who has the time, interest, and the funding, right? So that I can share with the community. My streamlined focus is business to government startups. Okay, so I mostly spend my time with individuals who are interested in local, state, and federal governmental procurement contracts or grants. Not limited to the private sector, but that's where I have the bulk of my knowledge. Just a small, minute uh, information that I could share that kind of help you get started. That's why I deal with only startups. All right. And some of the areas that I focus on is program development, budget compliance, audit preparation, sponsor letters, record keeping, identifying grants, and government certification. And keep in mind, this is specifically what I look at. And so if you went to my website, this is the kind of information you'll find. Now, do I have knowledge in other areas? I do, I do, I do. I really do. However, I like to deal with those beginner learners. If you guys can share, make sure some folks tuned in. I would definitely love that. because most of the time I'm on Garfield's channel, and I don't get to promote myself enough. So I wanna, and I don't know how to download the videos yet. I don't know how to download the videos yet. So um I want to try to put some content on my channel as well, and then I'll go from there. Okay. All right. So let's get it started. Um I guess I played around enough this morning. All right. So here's the first reminder. I am the president of the Voorhees College Alumni Midlands chapter. And every we have an annual event that we started called the Recognition of Service Award. Last year we was privy to award 10 nominees, and it was a very successful event. It was a great turnout. This year we're looking to do it all over again. I need you guys to get your nominations in March the 14th so we can start promoting and advertising really early. The event is normally held in September, but I mean, it's gonna be the end of August this time, end of August, because the date we normally have in September, I have a wait until 10. So it's gonna be at the end of August, and so I really need your support. I really need your help getting this information out so that everyone can be uh those who are well deserved of an award can be recognized. The deadline is March the 14th, 2020 at 12:30 p.m. So if you can, go ahead. Get those nominations to me. You can email them to vcmidlandsalumni at gmail.com. That's Midlands VC Alumni. Let me move this little thingy out the way. I don't think you can see that on the screen. Okay, yeah. Or you can text 803-814-5490. The reason I say text because I'm a very, very, very busy person, but I will answer your text message, okay? And so this recognition is to anyone you know in the community, well deserving, well deserving. That means someone who has some credibility in the community, doing great things, got great following. I would love to recognize that person on that day. All right. Now moving on to the national platform, the National Alumni Association. So we have our annual Summerfest coming up, our 2020 Summerfest, and it's going to be June the 19th through the 21st. Okay, we have three packages. The overall all access weekend package, which is $130, or we have package B, which consists of the basketball, the 5K run, and the all white party, which is $55, or we have our blue and white gala and the 10 under 40, which is $75. If you want to make those payments, you can make them at PayPal. The email is vcnaatreasure@gmail.com. And I'm going to get a post office box. So I'll get the address that you can mail checks into. Everybody knows that if you pay online, it comes with a fee. So don't get all bent out of shape, all right? But you'll be able to mail in checks and money orders to a post office pretty soon. Then we have so going on at the Summerfest, we have our basketball madness. This is either going to be round robin or it's going to be teams, depending on who participate. That cost is $10 to participate and a 10 at event. If you want to include a T-shirt, if you want a T-shirt, you can pay $25. All right. At any point, anyone is not an alumni and they would like to donate, you can also click that donation button and you can donate to us of any amount. We will be greatly appreciated. Okay. But all these proceeds go towards our funding to the school. Immediately after the basketball game, we have our all white party. That evening, it is open mic, meaning we are looking for those who have bars, who have lyrics, who want to spit a rhyme or two. You know what I'm saying? We want to do a little love poem or a little creative expression so we can snap it up, snap it up. All right, that's going on that Friday evening. Now, if you don't stay out too late on Friday, get up early Saturday morning, we have our Tiger 5K run. This is open to the public. Anyone can participate. So if you work for an organization, you have a team, you guys want to come out as a group, right? Yes, we are looking for you. If you are solo, you can participate as well. If you're in a Greek, a fraternity, sorority, all of those different, whether it's college based, military based. Hey, listen, we encourage you guys to participate. If it's family, you want to show off your t-shirts, you want to show up your company. Hey, come on out. The cost is $25 with a t-shirt. That deadline is May the 1st. Okay, same concept, same rule on the payment plan. Then y'all already know we have our membership drive. We'll look into ignite and motivate the alumni who's have graduated from Voorhees College. Put a little spin on it. The alumni dues is only $25 until June 30th. Guys, that is not a lot. I paid some memberships for a year $200. And so $25 to get you back up and running, active in an alumni. And on July 1st, that amount will go up to $50. Okay. Same thing, PayPal, or you can go to Eventbrite and get that amount taken care of. All right, so those are my promotions, you all. Those are my promotions for this evening. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and at this time, I'm gonna bring in my brother Chris if he's not bored by my promotions. What's up, Chris? I hit Chris up early this morning, you guys. It's like, hey, let's talk about some stocks, some investments. I wanna get some knowledge this morning. If anyone is interested in joining the panel, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If you have questions, you want to join the panel, if you have questions, that would be awesome as well. I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. You could join us on the panel. Okay. Last time we were speaking about, I think we ended our call on Wednesday, and we were speaking on options, stock options. And Chris sent me a video, and I watched that video. I watched the video. Um, I had it playing loud in the office on Friday, and I know folks are like, "What Mo is into now?" But hey, I need to get my knowledge, and so I get in and I fit in. So, what's up, Chris? You ready?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay,
You
so let me know if you can.
you break up a little bit. Yeah. While he's getting his audio together, I'm gonna share my screen. Um Chris is gonna speak about, okay, so you guys know on the Urban Economic Empowerment Show on Wednesdays, we've been using the brokerage apps. Okay. The oh, brokerage apps. Um, and I have Stash. Let me see. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me minimize this so I can get to my share screen. Chris, I can't hear anything you're saying. I don't know. Maybe you're in a not so good area right now, but it's all good. Let me get up my apps. I got them ready. I got them ready this time. Oh, it timed me out, you guys. So I need to log back in to my apps. I'm gonna log back in. But anyways, he was speaking about Stash and the card, purchasing using your Stash debit card. And you know what? There's many people who don't have a bank account. And so this might be a good way for you to be able to send your direct deposits so that you could and you benefit in more ways than one. Okay, he's come back. Let me see what's going on. All right. Okay. Where you at?
Hey
You
Mo, you
dropped
hear
out?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I just left home, so my Wi-Fi disconnected on me. Uh, so what we
I
got?
almost thought you said your wife got disconnected on you. I'm about to say, you married? When did you
No,
get
mom.
married?
No, ma'am. Uh,
Yeah.
but I'm driving. Just let me know if I sound clear or not.
Okay.
Uh, that way I can stay connected.
I got you. You clear. I have up my, I don't know. I got my stash up. I want Wednesday when we were talking about stocks, we kind of ran away with the conversation when a panel guest came on, and you were
Uh-huh.
gonna it was at the time when you were gonna speak about the card. You was talking about something new that Stash is doing.
Yeah. All right. So I got my new metal card that they sent me. Uh, before they ran out because a lot of people had signed up when they initially brought the debit card feature out. So I finally got my metal card, but uh, they do have some new features as well. So they have the dividend reinvest program, which they call DRIP, which is DRIP. So now every time you get a dividend payment, normally you can take that dividend payment and put it into another stock or something. So now they give you the choice to do that, or they'll reinvest it back into the stock that gave you the dividend in the first place. So they added that feature like a week ago. They also added um, you can invest a penny now, a penny into a stock. So it's no longer you have to have $5 to buy a certain fractional share of a stock. You can actually just invest as low as a penny, and I think 5 cents on certain stocks that's a certain price. So that's another feature that they just added. Uh, so that's good news. If you're a person that don't have a lot of finances, don't have a lot of money, you can start investing small increments at a time. So, I would definitely take advantage. If Mo, you haven't dropped your link in the chat, you should do that now while I'm speaking on this, so people can, they can know and take advantage of that free $5 that they get when they sign up under your account.
Okay. Actually, I got 20.
You got 21.
Some hold on. Someone stash was it stash or maybe wait a minute. It could have been Acorn. One of them. Hold on. I'll tell you in a second.
All right.
They it's the $500
Or
hold on.
is it the 250?
Yeah, so I got $20.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got
yeah.
20 bucks
I got
and they
20.
going and
Yes.
they're
It's
going to invest that 250 into your
hold
account.
on.
So,
Here it is right here. Hold on, let me here it is right here. I'm gonna click on the link. Yeah, so the person who signed up, yeah, here it is on the screen. The person who signed up, I end up it says get a chance to win 2,500 when you refer a friend by February 29th. On top of $20, you're each earn when they add cash to their stash. So somebody signed up on a link, cash link
mhm,
on the stash link, and they added cash to their stash, and so they got 20 and I got 20.
nice. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah,
So
that's the difference right there.
that's another way for you to make money. Uh, by using your affiliate or referral link. You just get $5 every time somebody signs up. So that's another way to make some money or to you know invest in some other stocks that you might like. So if y'all got an account, take advantage of that referral link you have.
Hey Chris, someone asked a question in the chat. Zan, He
Uh-huh.
and I don't think we could do this on a desktop, but he asked, can we demonstrate something on Webull so he'll know what to look for when he log in. But I got my Webull up, but I don't think I don't think I can log in on the desktop, ain't it?
I never tried to with Webull. I mean, but you can try and see.
Let me see.
Uh,
Because I went to it this morning and it was only asking me to create the account because I was gonna open it up. But I have the
okay.
app. I don't think you could.
Uh-huh.
Oh well, wait a minute. Maybe you can. I don't know. Okay, I'll look into that, Zan, and we'll do that on Wednesday. We bull on Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah. Because Webull's a bit more advanced than Stash is. So we'll have to discuss that, and then that way we can present it on Wednesday.
Right. Okay.
You
Yeah.
said that was
So let me
Zane.
go back to the middle. That was
Thank you.
Zane. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell that brother hit me up, man. He said,
Hey.
we talk all the time. Yeah. So he should know that.
Um. Okay. Yeah. I told him. I told him. All right. So this the medical. Now I'm gonna have to call him. Look like I'm gonna have to call him to get me another card. Because every time I try to do a replacement, it says
Yeah.
that replacement was already sent. I don't know
Yeah.
where it's at.
You're gonna have to call him because I had to call him first, and then I got an email saying that maybe like 3 weeks ago, saying that my new metal card will be sent out 7 to 10 business days. So I'm gonna make sure I remind you Tuesday to give them a call. They'll be
Yeah.
closed Monday.
You think they're gonna be closed Monday?
Yeah, because it's President's Day.
Everybody ain't closed on President Day.
I mean that Stash is
Federal.
yeah. So and it's anything dealing with the market is closed. You know,
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, stock market is closed on Monday. So I'm pretty sure they'll be closed.
Right.
But you can try.
Okay. All
But
right. So
so yeah.
also,
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so I was just gonna go back, to the feature. So, like I said, you got the drip feature, which is the dividend reinvestment program, and then you have uh, the invest low as a penny program now featured. And I wanna hone this in. So, Stash has another thing they do every day from 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 4:15. They're just giving away free stocks. It's just random stocks they pick out. They've been giving away. Yesterday was Harley Davidson. So, you know, take advantage of free. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want it, you can sell it. You
How do
know,
you
so
know? How do you?
uh, so damn, I gotta send you the party. It's a website. You put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Oh yeah, I remember you had that one party. I remember it.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
you
see if I
just
can
click
find
that
it real
link,
quick.
sign in, and when you sign in at 3 was 4 p.m. Eastern. So for everybody else, either an hour or 2 hours behind, maybe three. So uh, make sure to sign in between 4 p.m. Eastern, 4:15, and you can take advantage of free. So
Okay.
I'll put
Um.
that in the link as soon as I stop. I'm on the highway right now, so
Oh, no
uh,
problem. Keep
yeah.
going. I'm gonna find it.
So anyway, you know, let's see what I collected from them already. Costco, Harley Davidson, Clorox, uh, Tesla, Netflix. I missed the Nike one. What else? There's some other ones. They got a blockchain stock as well, like an ETF. But I got that one, and then they had like a metals ETF as well that they did that I missed out on. So I mean, like I said, y'all man, take advantage of this free stuff. You don't have to keep it. You know what I'm saying? You can look over the company, see if you like it. You know, a lot of us know Clorox and Harley Davidson and stuff like that. If you don't like, you know, the fractional shares they give you from that company, you can sell it for money. It's yours. You know what I mean? And it's all about free, the resources. You know, take what they give. You know, and you can distribute it however you want to, but take advantage of these features. You know, some people make videos and talk about, well, they charge this a month and that. And I'm like, bro, you paying, you spend money on fast food, you know, that supersedes that if you're doing it by annual payment. If we doing an annual payment, you know, I pay $108 a month for my stash account. It comes with my retirement account and all this extra features and things like that. But guess what? I make that money back. You know, it's giving me everything I want. You know, I've spent countless of dollars on fast food that I didn't need to spend that surpasses $108. So, you
But
know,
guess
we have
but
what?
guess what? If
What?
you got the home based business, you write it off.
That's right. My
I,
econ.
you need to get to that $12,200 in itemization.
Yeah,
That hundred
that's
dollars helps out.
that's right. That's right. And see, that's another the part of the game that the people don't know. You know, my econ, home-based business, tells you how to shows you how to, you know, uh, organize your finances. You know, properly fill out a W-4. You know, and things like that. You know, it's beneficial. Okay, you pay a monthly fee for it, but that monthly fee gives you money back. I don't know how you don't sign up for this stuff. Financial literacy at its best. Uh, what they say, it has to do it yourself credit repair. You know, they got the my
You just
econ mall.
you just switched over to my econ, huh? Hold
My
on.
bad.
I was like, let me get the video. He just
Yeah.
switched. He just switched over to my econ on the sister.
I get hyped talking about this stuff. So it's been
All
like
right.
3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I have a Wait. No, we gonna go back to stash. I'll bring up the my econ when I get my video. Find my video.
okay, cool.
Okay, go back. Let's see. I wanna. Oh man, I was trying to find the. I was. I was trying. I'm still trying to find the party. But anyways,
Oh,
talk again, sis.
go
Go.
to Twitter if you're looking for the link.
No, like, okay, cool. Um, I want to go back to your you know how you I want you to talk because we're on my channel and we talked about it on the Dagger Squad. I want you to
Uh-huh.
you said I heard you said that you do some investments. I'm gonna click on investments.
Uh-huh.
You said I didn't mean to say that. I want to say retirement.
Oh, the retirement account.
Right.
Okay. So usually with the retirement account, you get to pick and choose what stocks you want under your retirement account. So uh, I'll talk about mine. So I have I have two stocks, two ETFs. ETFs are exchange traded funds. So that it's basically like a conglomeration of the top stocks under one banner, and each company has a percentage they own in that ETF. So I have two ETFs under my retirement account, and I started off with $25. You know, just building it up, and I started adding more over time. So I think a couple months ago, I got a dividend payment back of $3 and something from that one ETF. But
Hmm.
I recently added another one. So it's all about how much money you put in. Well, I mean, if you can just get a retirement account or IRA, Roth IRA, or 401k or whatever, and just start, putting money in it every month. I started with $25, and Stash gives you that feature for free with the Stash Plus, which is the $9 one, and I think the the one before that one has it as well. So you can put whatever stocks you want under your retirement account. That's up to you. I just chose ETFs because ETFs, um, they pay over time. So you just have to look at the charts like we always do our due diligence, and see how much increase or the percentage that ETF pays over an annual year, and you decide if you want that under your retirement account. And so, my retirement has just been growing, every month, every year. And essentially that's what you want, as a working person. You just want to invest as much as you can, you know, and it doesn't have to be big. If you don't have money like that, you start off small, of course, and just, grow your oats, as Acorn say. Let your oats grow, plant seeds, and just let it grow. Um,
Let
so
me let me ask you real quick.
yeah,
On this on the stash stock party, I went to Twitter. So it's this is an independent link, so you log into the stock party, so it's not going to anybody, right? I'm just
no,
so
it's independent. It
okay, yeah, because I was about to
Yeah.
say send me yours. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get it.
Okay, yeah. So just go to Stash's Twitter, and you'll find a link down that page somewhere.
I
And
got it.
yeah.
Okay, so that was the retirement. Let me
hmm
go back. All right. And then we have for your kids. Have you signed anybody up?
No, I haven't. I was thinking of doing one for my sister. I know I have an account with Stockpile for her, but I don't have one with Stash. But I'm gonna make her account this year, uh, unless I have some kids sooner or later. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
But so no, I don't have any information on that. But I will tell you that you do sign up uh, and have a custodial account. Uh, you basically just do the same thing with yours. You buy some stocks, you know, to grow it. 'Cause at the end of the day, whether it's yours or custodial or retirement, you want to grow the account.
Do you use your so there's a lot of people who like don't have bank accounts and they make do you would you recommend Stash as being a good debit card, prepaid debit card for someone to have?
Yes. There's no overdraft fees. So if you don't have the money in their bank account, then whatever bill or automatic payment that comes out is just not going to go through. So you won't get charged for that. But with the card itself, I mean, like I said, you can shop anywhere and get stock back from these public companies, and then the private companies you get an ETF. So I think it's a major benefit. If you're an investor and you like this type of stuff. If you want to find an easier way to start earning stock back on purchases and things like that, that's an easier way to start investing. Is with their debit card. You might be scared, to invest some money into a particular stock, but if you get their bank account with their debit card, you can automatically earn stuff, where you shop at, earn companies where you shop at.
What's going on, everyone? Can you guys hear me?
Hey, peace and love.
Peace,
Power Prophet.
peace, power, and profit to everyone. Oba, Chris, Eba, Monica. If I could just add to that last nugget that Oba Chris just dropped, I just want to add some even more, we call little bit more ketchup to that wonderful, wonderful sandwich. The great thing
Yeah.
about getting uh, interest earned credit value back in terms of a stock, right? Meaning they're going to give you, I guess, was it a fractional values of shares uh,
Right.
in interest through making purchases like a cashback reality when they give you money back. Here's the kicker to that, guys. For some of you guys that understand, money market accounts, cashback interest, credit cards, this, that, and the third, right? They're going to give you basically a money generating income stream revenue producer.
Right.
Understand that, meaning if those stocks are steady in an incline. A one-time cashback payment from your bank, this, that, and the third is just a monetary kickback dividend, so to speak. It's not necessarily even that. It's just, it's already allocated. It's just money that they're pulling through all those different services, and they're just saying, hey, here's some of that back, right? Because of taxation, right?
Right.
The stock continues to appreciate. That means it's continually growing. You see what I'm saying? You guys catch my
Right.
drift? What I'm saying there? So
Mhm.
it's an ever increasing process or accrual of monetary gain, minute as it may be, unless obviously when you're building it up again, it obviously begins to hold weight, but it's constantly working for you on your behalf, despite it just being a one-time kickback. So I
Right.
just wanted to make sure I add to that so you guys can really understand, because a lot of people who are new to this, who have cashback incentives that their banks is offering them, and they all
Right.
find it there. And again, they're trying to compete for your business, right? I get it. They want you to be able to provide money to their institutions. They can turn around and take that money and reinvest it in other endeavors, right? And then on top of that,
Right.
they'll give you back some kind of form of a service as a patron of their business, right? But as an investor, you're pretty much, again, an independent contractor to these companies in essence. And
Right.
other services like a Stash or Webull or Tastyworks or TD Ameritrade, this, that, and the third, who are also vying for your business, they can give you something that a bank can never give you. The power to exponentially grow your investment value or your money value, sometimes 10x, 20x, 30x, 100 times x, a lot greater than a money market account could ever pay you in interest value on your money, on your money.
Right.
So that's why these conversations are very, very important. And we need not lose sight of understanding that it's all centered around understanding what financial literacy really, really entails. And hence, no better person to help break that down to you than our Eva Monica Lamb. Over Garfield goes into it. Y'all know I come at it from, the stock side of it. Regarding my own understanding about finance, banking, and finance anyway. So I think this is very important that we not lose sight of that. So we understand that if we're gonna, again, let's say use your credit card to get a 3% kickback, right? On cash earned, right? And here it is, maybe Stash is saying, well, hey, we'll give you this, right? Or or not Stash, excuse me. Yeah, that's Stash. I was about to confuse it with Cash App, but we're gonna give
Yeah.
you this. Obviously, the ability where your money can continually grow, and not even the fact that it may be also within a dividend-based stock that gonna also give you a dividend on top of it. You see where I'm going with this, guys? It's a
Right.
win-win reality where money is continuously what it's growing. It's accruing. You see what I'm saying? And so I just want to make sure we got you guys can really home in on that, because that was a very, very potent point. And man, taking it to that next level, that'll really get people to see how important it is. And you asked the right question, Monica, when you asked them that, about that, that Stash card. And so you just got to understand the values and the nuances of the fees and this, that, and the third. But if you're in it for the long haul, then apparently you'll see that these things somewhat pay for themselves.
Right. Well, oh,
Oh yeah, I just pulled up. I had pulled up the Stash Party. Yeah, so that's I definitely okay. Go in on the since we on the card, the purchases again, because again I'm on my YouTube channel, not the Dagger Squad, to maybe definitely some different subscribers that may be listening in.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll talk about one of my experiences. So I did a video on how I leverage my Acorns account with my Stash account to I went and bought me some J's. You know what I mean? I saved up. I got recurring investments in Acorns, and you know, Acorns invests your money into ETFs. So whatever kickback you get off of that, there's nothing but a plus, like Oba said. So I leveraged enough money with Acorns, and then I transferred the money from my Acorns to my Stash debit card, and I went to Nike and I bought me a pair of Jordans, so I got stock back off that purchase by using that Stash debit card. Now I think the percentage they give you from shopping at these companies, I think it's like 0.01125% or something like that. So a lot of people will complain and say, well, that's really nothing. Well, when you're when you're invested into these stocks, there's always something. There's always a benefit. Like Oba said, we're not even incorporating the dividend yields that some of these companies have. So I would rather pay with the Stash debit card and receive stock back, no matter what the percentage is, than use my bank card and get nothing.
Facts.
So I
hey,
mean,
hey,
this is
that's
this.
what you listen. That's what y'all made me out of a believer right there. I'm like, I remember the first time I've heard using any type of cards and rewards when I had joined my econ and we got the cash back with the purchase online. But Sherry talked. We was on our trip and Sherry talked about getting credit cards that give cash backs or rewards, and she don't get any credit cards that don't give any rewards. And I was like, man, did I even pay attention to that? And
Right.
so I went back and revamped, got rid of everything, and then just kind of started over, and start looking for rewards. So now that you're speaking on it on stocks, I'm like, man, that's a true statement, because here you hold a bank account for so long, and it's the same thing with life insurance. I joined the military, was there for 20 years, on the government job for 10, bought into their life insurance, and then I come out, there goes that life insurance, and all of the money I've invested is gone. Now I gotta, I had to start all over with life insurance. And I was like, man, I sure wish somebody around me had enough knowledge to say, hey, Mo, if you want to opt into that company and you want to get a little life insurance, make sure you get a policy outside of that for the bulk of what you're trying to get. I could have had $1 million policy.
Right.
Facts.
Right. So I mean, this it's a no-brainer for me. Other people may be like, well, man, this and that. I'm like, bro, it makes no sense for you to use your bank card that gives you nothing. If if there was a reward card, like let's say a credit card, right? And they give you 5% cash back, I'm still gonna take the Stash debit card over that. Why? Because that 5% cash back cannot get me invested into a company, a publicly traded company, or an ETF. It cannot. This is a no-brainer for me because I'm an investor. I love investing. So when they say, well, we got this debit card, and you get stock back uh, at any of these public companies that you shop at, or even if it's a private company that's not publicly traded, you get to choose between ETFs. So I'm still gonna be like, that's a win for me. It's easy. What did the average commercial guy say in his commercial? Why are y'all making this so hard? It's easy. Easy. Makes sense. Makes sense to use these resources that they're giving us. Like I said, it's a no-brainer. If you're an investor, you like Amazon. You shop at Amazon all the time. but you always pay with your Chase card. You missing all these opportunities, of getting Amazon stock as high as it is already. It's over $2,000. So what better way to start, earning little fractional shares, and then you invest here and there with your own money. Over time that'll build. But Chase is not going to give you that. BBVA Compass is not going to give you that. Bank of America is not going to give you that. If there was a way that you can invest into Bank of America by using your own card, would you do it? Of course. So Stash is saying, listen, you know, all the publicly companies that's traded, you'll earn stock back rewards. And not only that, some months they'll give a 3% stock back reward, or a 5%, or a 2% stock back reward on some of these companies. So they do have that as well. So you have to pay attention, Mo, when you in your Stash app,
I am.
okay? Uh when you go to the debit card portion, they'll show you the companies that they're promoting for the month for you to earn the stock back rewards. I think I'm gonna earn stock back rewards for TurboTax this year because I think they're doing a 5% reward on that. And I use TurboTax to do my taxes. So as soon as my taxes drop into my Stash debit card account, I'm gonna get that reward. So it's not just gonna be a regular 0.01125%. It's going to be 5 times that, or whatever the reward is. So that's how you got to think in terms of this debit card or this bank account that Stash and Green Dot have come together on, and you just got to use it for its benefit. You buy Jordans all the time. Start using that debit card at Nike and get Nike stock back every time. That way, not only are you being a consumer, but you've been an investor as well, because you love Nike, but the Stash debit card allows you to get stock back from Nike when you use your card when you're going to buy all this Nike stuff. I don't see a better way of doing that than this. Like I said, Chase not giving you no stock back. Okay.
And if I could add to that, over Chris,
Yeah.
and also Eva Monica can back me up on this. This is what she speaks about when she's saying having better practices, right? Understanding how to be very concise in how you manage your money, how you budget your money, how you even understand the allocation of money and understand it as it being a resource and not just a paper currency that's just as an exchange for products and goods and services, right? And so under the guise of understanding that your money is power, which we always obviously advocate over here. Again, y'all know my motto, power and profit, right? For that reason, because again, having the value to produce income, generate income, again, that
You there?
again, he can speak for himself, but it's they're willing to compete for your business. At the end of the day, is what I'm saying. Banks compete for your business by offering you some kind of okay, well, we give you this in terms of interest rates for this, that, the third. We understand the national rate, but we're gonna give you also this ability to use your debit card, this, that, and the third. These are just features of services, but they're not necessarily saying, oh, we also are going to give you money back on your money at a rate where you'll really benefit from it just by being a card holder or a member of our institution. Not granting the fact that, again, when you put your money into their institution, what are they going to do with it? They're going to invest it, right?
Mhm.
They're going to take your small portion, put it with everybody else's portion, right? And they're going to go out and make large scale investments, right? In equity funds, mutual funds, real estate endeavors, this, that, and the third, and get big returns, 9, 10, 20%. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, in retrospect to why I'm using that as an analogy, because again, you're talking about 7, 8, 10, 20% on billions and billions of dollars that they've collected from their service members, right? Now, within that, are they giving you anything back in terms of, hey, here's a little extra, something on top of what we're doing? That's why they just started this whole, cash back incentive, because people like, well, man, I'm giving you my money. You're investing with my money. And I'm just getting a checkbook, access to an ATM machine, this, that, the third, obviously some in-house services, loan advisement, this, that, whatever. Okay, granted. So again, it goes back to the very rudimentary understanding where you wouldn't take your hard-earned money and give it to a stranger and say, here, hold this, and I'll be back 6 months from now. Right? Right? That's just not good. That's not good practices, right? Well, essentially, we do that with banks. We just trust them because they are what? Again, they're part of government oversight to a degree where we'll say, well, something fraudulent happens, at least, I can, go to the law and they can go after that bank. Well, okay, so from what we're trying to advocate, I know speaking strictly for me too, but I know my comrades have backed me up on this. This is why financial literacy is important, understanding how your money needs to be looked at as a tool. It's an instrument, right? It's in my analogy I used before, it's like a soldier on the battlefield, right? You don't send your soldiers to battle, with inadequate, machinery, right? You're not going up against people with tanks and rockets, and you going there, going in there with butter knives and cooking books and crock pots and brooms. You see what I'm saying? It's just not logical. And so, in understanding a app like Stash, right, which charge you basically a couple dollars every month to have access to it, right? And your bank, in some cases they have no leverage fees and this, that, and the third for a time period of time before they start charging you or whatever. But the reality is that, again, they could never pay you, even in the interest form, in these banks, than that what your stash account or your investment value account could pay you from an unlimited, pool of resources in these different companies when you invest in them. Again, and then some of those companies also give you back a dividend. And so again, I just want to make sure I reiterate that so you guys can really see the power of how an investment account is much more solid and valuable than that of a bank account. A FDIC as opposed to FNRA or FINRA type based reality, so to speak. And still, your investment account is still also backed and secured by the law under the SEC law, right? Security Exchange Committee, basically.
Right.
But African Emporium, Rob Rich Sir Senior, he said he didn't catch when you explained the Stash and Green Dot merger. Can you explain that again, please?
Oh yeah, they merged together and created this stock back debit card bank account feature. I think it had to be over a year ago. They did a video segment. It was in MSNBC. It was one of those channels that they did a business segment on, where the president of Stash and the president of Green Dot got together and they wanted to create a way for people at Stash, for the investors, to have a way to start earning stock back with using a debit card. So they jumped in the game. This is about a year and a half or two ago that they did this video. I'm not sure what he wants to know. I mean, we can get the information on it if he wants to read it and whatnot. But that's basically what happened.
I actually have it up on my screen now if you guys want the actual link, except you just want to read into it, which is great, because you should always want to be able to be profound in your own due diligence, learn how to be able to extrapolate information that is relevant and pertinent to your investments and also just in life. And so it's good to always chase data that's pertinent to what you're dealing in. This is just one publication, but it just pretty much is giving you the detail exactly, like the brother was asking about the intricacies of that merger. And we all understand, people who understand what Green Dot is, again, y'all know that's our hood banking system, right? When these banks acting flaky and don't want to give you an account, guess what we go do? We go get that Green Dot and we get on about our business. We still rent us a little car, buy a little plane tickets and this, that, and the third. There's other ways around these these henchmen, as I call them, central banks or banking systems that are all controlling our lives to a degree where they're being the kind of the judge and jury about how we feel like we should be able to be able to make transactional moves. And that's the importance of why crypto came into play, and a lot of other different institutions outside of the the central banking institution who were pretty much clamping down on people from being able to live a life that they should be deserving of, no matter what their situation is at that moment. If their credit is not good, this, that, and the third, because a bank does what? They run your credit,
Right.
right? Before they give you an account. Like, oh, I'm putting my money in your bank though. I didn't come to you for a loan. I'm just trying to get a bank account. But they're still borrowing you from the opportunity just from the fact that you might have had a previous bad, a few bad transactions or whatever, or another bank, and they're saying, no, we don't want to deal with you, right? Unless you do a secure, account, some to that degree where you got to keep money in. But you get my point. It just, why hassle and wrestle through all that when there's other ways out there, even in some cases, even more beneficial to you than trying to make a bank feel like that's the best. Y'all know how the whole reality goes, right? Go to school, get an education, get a good job. You trust in that value of information system because it's of a systematic, regimen, that these things are verifiable and they're good for you. But that's not necessarily how life works. There's other values and things in life that are just as much benefits to you and less of a headache if you just learn how to peruse those lanes, right? And so again, this is just a clear example of that. Getting a green dot account, guess what you could do now? You can fund your stash account when nobody want to give you a bank account where you can't draw money from.
Right.
Bingo. Daggers. You see what I'm saying? Boom.
Repeat
So
that last comment.
So you can now get an ability to fund a stash account than with a bank that borrowed you from getting an account where you can fund your investment career with, and now you don't have to worry about that issue or that headache anymore of a bank keeping you from that opportunity.
Right.
Because we got brothers on the corner. Again, that's how I started out, teaching brothers like that. And them guys got lots of money, and they don't want to deal with the system to that regard in some kind of way, this, that, and the third, because of, again, situation, circumstances. However, some of their business, when it comes to banking, is a little bit off the grid because, again, they can't take that money and put it through the bank. Again, I ain't advocating that, but I'm just making a point about life in general in terms of people who are transitioning to opportunities like this. There's ways around going through those different faculties. Even if you don't trust them, you can still become just as much of a viable player in it. And so guess what? Green Dot, boom, go to Green Dot. They charge you little service fees, whatever. You're going to pay it. You get that. You go straight into a stash account. You come in with whatever X, Y, and the third amount. You can start your investment career. And along the way, you're learning somewhat the financial services and systems, so to speak, by understanding how this stuff works and plays out. Void of who? The banking system. We know Green Dot messes with the banks on their end, but that's on their end. All I need you to be my middleman or my facilitator of my needs to be met. And that's what a Green Dot gives you. You see what I'm saying? Nice. So it eliminates the excuses. Y'all know that's our motto. We eliminate excuses for a living, right? We're removing the fear or the inconsistency of what we've been taught as, up and coming in this society about how the banking system is pretty much the god of all things in terms of how you should be looking to endeavor to be part of some bank. Y'all know how when you got your first bank account, you thought you made it. You thought, oh, you was big time. Then, I'm doing it now. I got me a bank account. It's just like, okay, yeah. I got a pocket full of, them things. See what I'm saying? They don't care about that because they still gonna spend. But I'm just saying, in essence, to understanding financial literacy and the aspect to it, how it benefits you or doesn't, that's what's key important about these moments. What gives you the better leverage? What gives you the best benefits? If your banking system ain't giving you no money market account opportunities, they're not giving you cash back rewards on your money, then guess what? You in the wrong bank. You in the wrong. Matter of fact, they ganking you. They're using you.
Right.
Literally, just be honest. They're using you, and you think you're doing something because you got a little crispy little bank account. So I'm just saying, again, I want to bring context to that. This is I'm gonna post a link in the back chat for you guys can see it. But just speaking on that, what Brother Chris was speaking about, just to show you how, again, this is why due diligence is important. A lot of the questions that we ask, we can be answered by a quicker Google search. I think Garfield made that statement. on the last bill we had on his channel. And that's true. A lot of this stuff is just, you got to be, you got to see yourself being able to say, let me put in a little bit of work first, right? And then you can say, well, hey, break it down to us, have someone break it down, whatever, and then we expound on it from there. But that's why I love our village or our coalition or our team or our people who are interested in this, because y'all see, that's what it's about. It's about the village mentality. Everybody pitching in our own form of a think tank, because this is what it is. People like, man, y'all ain't got no, that's what, it's a think tank. Cause we're putting minds together, coming up with different opportunities to make our lives much more easier and pliable. And so again, 4 or 5 heads is much more greater than one. You see what I'm saying? So again, I just want to add that, guys. So you guys are, man, just as much as competent, y'all just as much as able, y'all just as much as intelligent than a white guy that went to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, whatever the third. That getting endowments and monetary kickbacks through insurance policy and bar mitzvah. Maybe we didn't get all that, from our deceased relatives, that and the third. But one thing we got that they don't got is what? Greed, not greed, but hunger and the ability to want to go out there and get it. Right? They more of an entitled mindset, and they feel like it should just be given to them. So by that token, that makes us research harder, right? We should want to research harder with more depth to understanding how to not be taken advantage of, because basically we are the prey, they are the predators. They prey on our what? Lack of knowledge. Exactly. Right. And so that's why we changing the game in our own right through this little financial literacy. Not that we gurus, experts, and this, that, and the third. We just understood from growing through life and experiencing how to break down these monetary systems and policies and whatever opportunities that can help benefit our people. And we're just trying to break it down to you in a training form.
Right. Marquise, you got anything Marquise, you want to add anything?
Oh yeah, definitely. I echo everything that y'all saying, and this is definitely powerful, because I can tell you, from personal experience, how many accounts I've had shutting down from trading Bitcoin. Man, they didn't shut me down so many times. I'm moving, $20,000-$30,000 a month, and then next thing you know, they just like, I don't want to do business for you. Like they breaking up with me, and to the point where I can only really get accounts from from these different investment accounts and whatnot. So that's really powerful, and it gives us the ability to get at the table, and play the investment game. Because you look, 20 years ago, it wasn't this easy to invest. You couldn't just, you had to be an accredited investor to get into a lot of these investments. So yeah, it's just really powerful, to be able to go get a green dot and to be able to add it to your stash account and invest, man. That's wonderful. I'm definitely glad, Open put us on that.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, man. That's just the main thing. Just get the information and use the resources available. Google's here. We got Mo, we got Over African Emporium, you got the brother Marquise, you got me, you got Garfield. I mean, it's everywhere. There's no excuse for not handling your business. No excuse. The information is there. Now, whether you take hold of it or not, it's all on you. People say they don't have time, but we all have time to do something when it comes to, our finances and bettering our position. I don't want to hear nobody saying that they ain't got time. You can create it if you don't have it. It don't take a lot. Sacrifice. All the sacrificing that our people done over the years, I don't want to hear nobody saying that they don't have time. We have time. Just have to sacrifice a little bit. So, I mean, I did that. I sacrificed, from being on YouTube for a whole year to crack down on my finances and get things in order. And you have to do that sometimes. You got to get off the live streams, that go on for hours. You got to get into the books. You got to start reading.
Check it out, Chris. You say sacrifice. Think about how easy it is for someone to roll up to a fast food joint or to make a decision to eat out or to
Right.
go to a concert to see their favorite music artist or wherever. It's so easy. That's why I wouldn't say it's a sacrifice. I would say you need to reprioritize. Because think about it. When that age creep up on you, honey, you gonna wish you did take advantage of some of these earlier conversations. Like you guys sent me those links to listen to for the options. And I said, you know what? I know what I'm about to start doing. Instead of playing the radio in the car all the time, I'm gonna take some time and I'm gonna play these videos in the background until you can kind of get some understanding. So sometimes listening to some audio is good is if you educating yourself to make a power move. I think some people they get real technical when it comes down to investing and gaining their own, using their own money to do so. They get real technical about how much, when, where, you know. But then easily when they get paid off their regular job, they go straight shopping. No effort of thought or plan about how they gonna shop. They just do it and spend hundreds or thousands even.
Even to add to that, they do a little due diligence. They be doing due diligence. Whose store gonna have them shoes? Who gonna have that dress? Who gonna have? They'll do some due diligence. But I'm just, y'all know what I'm saying. I ain't saying nothing that y'all don't already know to be true. And this is what I be saying with our people when they say they don't have the mental capacity to do this kind of research and study. I'm like, dude, you just spent literally minutes to hours researching where to find the shoes, who got it for the best price, and who got the colors that you want. You scrambling, right? Because you trying to get it for the next man got it. Because guess what? They didn't FOMO'd you in through marketing. Well, you got to have it first, right? It's fear of missing out. And so this is what we're kind of expounding a lot of our energy into those kind of thought processes and saying, you know what, it's worthy for this, but it ain't worthy for me to learn how to invest, right? It ain't worthy to me to learn how to consider about, starting my own business in the LLC, C Corp, S Corp, whatever, right? Or learning how to purchase a home or this, that, and the third. We do it when we come to buying a car, same level of due diligence to a degree. And so again, when I hear people use that kind of language, and I'm like, that is not true. Now you know better, right? Like somebody's my grandma now. Now you need to be shaming yourself, right? Because they're just pretty much kind of not necessarily telling the complete truth, right? And so that's why I think it's very important. It's very important in which we're doing now. We're demonstrating, right? We're going on Google and showing you how easy it is to pull up these value things of information, of interest. So it's not like you have to go to some intricate dark web pool and know somebody that's Jewish and y'all get to get some basic information. You can get strictly right offline. And then what you do get that you can't necessarily comprehend or understand, that's when you come to the group. Right, or you come to Sister Monica, over Chris, Brother Marquise, any of you guys is even in the back chat. Y'all know this stuff as well as we do too. Y'all just necessarily may not speak about a lot of it in depth. But guess what? If everything we have to deal with in terms of Black community, I know I'd be going off on these small little tangents, but if everything we always consider giving our time to in terms of edification of people's understanding about culture and history and this, that, the third, why can't it be just as equal or greater than that when it comes to our finances?
Talk it.
That's the part that makes me like, I don't understand. If everybody lacking in resources and got issues with resources, right? But they got all this history and ain't monetized yet, then something wrong with that picture, right? Yeah. So we need to understand, and I'm not saying you just give up with them. I'm just saying we need to find ways to either help them get monetized or find a way how to monetize that. And also they need to also see that there's a balance in all of that too, right? Yeah. Political science, social sciences, financial sciences, what's the other? I hear there financial science, social sciences, political sciences, actual technological sciences, the biological, those kind of levels of science. I'm just saying it all has its place in terms of how you want to complete, bring it all together, so to speak. Excuse me. So you don't necessarily, be left out one or the other. And the one most important of all of them is what? Finances. How you gonna make a move without no money?
You can't escape that. You can't escape the reality.
Right.
After you watch the videos, you read the books and close them, you got to go back to reality. You're going to work tomorrow. You got bills to pay. You cannot escape that. Not escape. You got to deal with that every day. So by saying that, I think we put too much energy into the wrong thing. I love history. I love it. I love reading. I would never get tired of reading history or listening to history. But the implementation, are we gonna teach the baby? Are we gonna create schools, after school programs like nonprofit? I mean, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna sit on YouTube all day, and do the same thing we do every year? Have a debate this, debate that. Are we gonna go to the colleges and have these debates? Are we gonna go discuss this with the kids in the high schools and
Well,
middle schools? This is thinking bigger. You know what I'm saying? Stuff is way bigger than YouTube.
but check it
You gotta
out
start
though.
acting.
Everything has its place, but check it out. That's why on Wednesdays I did the program breakdown on how to write up your program. I have to do the budget class, and since I got some time today, I'll probably knock that out today or tomorrow because I need to go back to the basics because I have some folks now that followed pretty well and got their feeding programs going, and so I want to teach them how to add another program and make one feed off the other one, such as what you just talked about, Chris, and teaching the babies. And then, but I have to cover that budget piece of it. And so for the folks that follow us, you got some people that are really learning some things. And I want to do this, a little shameless plug I'm gonna throw in there. I want to do 3 to 4 cities before the summer. And I want to do some training, just like what you're talking about now, whether it's with the youth or it's with adults. And I want to go back. I'm gonna design it, the workshop, and I want to go to I'm gonna be, and I always maximize my time. My econ taught me wherever you go, make sure you make it out of a business trip to write it off. And so I'm gonna be in New York at the debate, but while I'm there, I got a client who's a Haitian who has some doctors who's doing a gala, and they do a health medical screening in Haiti once a year for their nonprofit. So I'm gonna attend that, but I also want to set up a workshop while I'm in New York. I need about 25 people though before I set up this venue, so that I can teach just what you're talking about right there, so I can maximize that trip. And also, I'll be in Louisiana in April, so I want to set up one there, and then I'm supposed to go to Georgia or Alabama, one of them. So I want to do at least 3, 4 places, and hopefully if I get the dates down pat, and some people money permits, you guys could join me and we could set up a nice fruitful workshop to the community. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and that's next level, right? That's next level, right? That's what we're, again, I would say in my book, what I'm advocating more than anything, right? Demonstration beats conversation. And so when I was, again, I know I'm throwing my little shameless little historical plug out there too, Sister Mo, but that's literally how I
Go ahead and
started,
do it.
right? That's how I started. Literally, I was boots on the ground, right? My health and wealth initiative. That was my weekend. Weekend was load the car up with health, the information and products, and financial literacy when it comes to investing, and go to drive up on businesses. I mean, no fear. Drive up on. I was just driving up on any kind of black business. I roll up on brothers on the block. Y'all already know what that's like, right? Roll up on anybody where I saw us, meaning our people, huddled up in a group or an environment, and then I start breaking down the information. Again,
That's
by
what's up.
end of the day, they don't even want me to leave. I get there about 1 or 2 o'clock. I'm not leaving some nights till like 1 or 2 in the morning. My Earbud vouch for it. She said I used to come home about sometime 1 or 2 in the morning. and again, out of that, I done got some mothers who had no clue about none of this stuff to take a chance on, again, open up a brokerage account. Looking into more ways to increase their financial literacy, so they're not so dependent upon the system in itself. So again, it's small little moments like that each and every one of us can do, because again, with us and what we're offering, we're not actually offering you a product, right? We don't own the stock market. That's what I love about it. So people can't come at you sideways. We don't own it. And any kind of inconsistency that you may have about it, whether you consider it to be gambling, this, that, and the third, well, I use some very basic analysis, and y'all done probably heard Dr. Boyce Watkins speak about it. In essence, that it is said, and this is just from statistical values, that people who are not invested at any form of equity or real estate values, reoccurring generate income revenue, these people are actually broker than what they consider they think they are, even if they make a decent job, because you have no way to grow your money, right? And then cost of living goes up every year, right? Then you got to turn around and deal with inflation, because the federal rates obviously they fluctuate up and down, and so your money is not the same this year as it will be next year. You see what I'm saying? And so if you have no other ways to generate income, or your money again go and work for you while you doing other things in life, then you actually going to be behind the following year, because cost of living goes up, pretty much every year. I've yet to see a deduction in the cost of milk and the cost of eggs. I ain't seen none of that stuff go down yet, since they've been inching it up every single year. Right? And so it just, to me, again, it just makes sense not to try to fight it when you can be a part of something where you can benefit from it. And that doesn't necessarily mean you got to take off your kufi and you got to be denounce the government. You can still be anti-government. You can be anti-government, all that. Trust me. But you also can use them to get what you want. Because what they're not willing to give you outright that they owe you, then guess what? There's other ways around it where they can't bar you from getting it. And that's what the market offers you, and which we just spoke about in terms of the Green Dot card, where the bank can't bar you. You go through Green Dot. Green Dot don't want your bank your credit history. They ain't asking for your credit history, right? They ain't running your credit report, right? They just say, hey, you come in with the cash, hey, you good to go. Pay us our fee, you good to go. Boom, you right in the stash. Again, y'all get my point. I know I didn't say it before, but I want people to really start to realize, don't out-talk yourself or outthink yourself out of an opportunity. That's what this is all about, in a lot of ways.
When I do the workshop again, what I'm gonna do is, how I broke it down, and I had added that little 3% for investment, but I didn't really have a target on where to go, what to do with it. And so that's what I want to try to design a workshop, even if it's just one and we all could get in the building. I want to be able to design it where I come out of the credit, because what people don't get in reference to getting the money to invest is that when they jump business, we our minds are so clouded, a whole lot of stuff we need to attain sustain household, we need to gain residual income, we need to prepare for our future, all of that great stuff. And so what I want to do is, and so the process of doing that, which to me has not been given a clear pathway. And I got this idea from my cousin. He has got his PhD in May, Dr. Hubbard, and he's doing a certification on how to learn, something like that or whatever. But anyway, he works for the Census Bureau. He We were riding back to the airport, and when he's riding back to the airport, I told him, I was like, man, when he spoke at my uncle's funeral, he made the comment of my uncle creating a pathway for young Black men in our family, right? And I was like, that's my catch, that's my pitch. That's why I need to create a pathway. Like, people really don't know how to prepare or get their future secured. And so when you think in terms of listening to, like, Brother Garfield, we talk about personal credit and business credit and how to go after the funding, that piece right there, going into, okay, now that you set yourself, and I never forget, he says, okay, don't just get your credit together, your business credit together, just because. Do it because you have a purpose and you get ready to do something, i.e. make a purchase on a house, a car, business, whatever, right? And so in this case, I'm talking about business. So you prepare that credit to go into the business. And when you do go into the business, get your administrative and compliance piece of it together. Everybody talk about business, but y'all know I do it in a whole nother way, right? Because I'm real stickler on, I need you to sustain, and where they get you at is the administrative piece. Going into that, okay, now you've secured, whether it's a private contract or some type of local, state, or federal government contract. Now, with that money, how to break that budget down. And oh, by the way, there's a piece of this money that needs to go in investments. And where do you start? How do you go? I watched the company that I work part-time with right now, y'all. Oh my God. if I could get them on to share with you all, they took this company, went from in 2000, I remember 2016 when I retired from the military. I started doing their payroll. They took it from no governmental contracts, which they had in the past, but it was like just a bridge type deal or sub, to getting the first award contract, Louisville, Kentucky, taking that award and breaking that budget down to have that investment piece, to getting to the point where now they can go on any parking lot and get a vehicle switched out at any time to stay relevant and stay quality of service, right? To now to having a net worth in the millions, plus the owners are making six figures in their own personal company. And they're doing it. Oh my goodness, I get excited. But at the end of the day, I want the workshop to break down to where you actually see that end result picture where, and everybody don't know how to get to that point. When they think of government contract, they think of the government actually giving you something, when in actuality you're bringing a service or a good to them, which means you have to manage it, you have to govern it, you have to be able to manage people, determine your quality of service, your when you need to switch out things, when you need to upgrade, those type of things. So you have to come with that knowledge already, right? And so that's why I think some of these conversations is very important to have, because the details is where people get bored, but the boredom is what creates profit. And you shouldn't be bored. But I want to be able to do at least one annual event with us where we could bring all of that in a 4 to 5 hour discussion, and then have breakout discussion. But I know it's not built for everybody, because you got to be able to give up the time and get, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to give up the time to learn the process so that you can be successful in it.
They have it. Don't make excuses for them, Mo.
Go ahead,
Yep.
go ahead, go ahead.
They
Go
sit
ahead.
on they sit on live stream for 7 to 8 hours sometimes.
No
We
excuse.
don't, again, we see, that's one thing about this. We have the receipts. That's why I say we can eliminate that excuse about time, because we got the receipts. And then we got them typing in the chat, so we can. Hey, you was there, right here, Exhibit A, Jill. You were there, and 3 hours later, you were still there, even if you popped in and out. We got the receipts. So I'm just saying, just like you said, it's about a prioritization. It's about compartmentalizing, right? Right. Understanding that just because it seems foreign to you, or boring to the ideal of learning, having to learn something new, should not sway you away from it if there's a benefit from you where you're not necessarily having to pay nothing. See, that's the difference. You ain't really paying nothing. The information is free. You know what I'm saying? The data is free. I mean, you can go to Google and pull this stuff up, right? I'm not saying, hey, I'm going to offer you this package and it's going to cost you, you know what I'm saying, a couple thousand, right? For basically me doing all the research and due diligence, right? And then give it to you and help you unpack it. And you pay me for a service like a consulting service. That's fine and dandy. Some people do that. I'm not knocking that, right? But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, and we're saying, hey, we're going to take the Robin Hood approach, literally, Robin Hood approach, right? Take it from what we've learned and then give it back to the community basically for free, right? So you can turn around and go and make your life better in some fashion. Not that it ain't already, but again, it's about nation building under that perspective. Not that we, again, experts and we're just living so high on the hog and God. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying that what we are showing you that we can demonstrate. So we can demonstrate. We're not just talking or saying this and that. We can demonstrate, and the results will be, hey, here's what the result came from this. Here's the result that came from that, right? Again, that's what should make this kind of, cancel out the noise, so to speak. If y'all get my drift.
Right. Yes, and that's where, I'm like, it's like you got to build up a tolerance, but you have to decide. And I don't know, maybe it came with age or something. You, you ain't got time to be playing around. Like, you need to be focused on something that's going to benefit your future. So not necessarily just sit and be comfortable, but at least your path would be a little bit more easy. Um, and I know I'm dominating over here. Marquise, you like the quiet one in the group on the panel. Chime in whenever you need to, bro.
Oh no, no problem. I'm just kind of multitasking right now. But but definitely it's about that delayed gratification. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's worried about trying to be entertained right here, right now, not
Facts.
looking at the long distance, the goals, because it's a marathon, like Nib said, it's a marathon. So you gotta learn how to take this like and make it edutainment, instead of being trying to be entertained by, everything else, be entertained by this education. Find the fun in it. Find something that you love and go ahead and engage in it financially. Because that's where the power is at. You want the power, you want the money, you're trying to, overthrow white supremacy. This is where it's at. You're not finna overthrow nothing by reading books unless they financial books, and then you put into action. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, definitely. Um, so matter of fact, Chris, did you start an after school program?
Huh?
Did you start an after school program? You know, in Texas, y'all got money.
No, I ain't starting to have a school program.
You know, y'all got some dollars down there.
I
I'm not,
remember we tried with the organization that I'm a part of, but they never what I say they never really looked into it. So, but I can only tell people the information that you give me, Mo, and I just all I can do is tell them what the opportunities are, and I'm not a leader of that organization, so it's not necessarily my job to make the decisions on that. I just tell them, this will benefit. It's a good idea that we should look into, and you know, it didn't really happen, but some other stuff happened, and that kind of set everything back. So I think maybe they'll get to it, maybe they won't. But I'm exhausted with giving people ideas on doing stuff, and I just keep the ideas to myself. I implement the ideas I want to implement, and I just leave it at that because can't depend on people. That's what I learned. You have to be resourceful yourself. If there's an opportunity, you can't wait and ask somebody else what they think about it. You know, you figure that out yourself. But I mean, I wish somebody would start an after school program. I would help in the efforts, to try to help teach these babies, whether it's history or, finances, investing. Because it's gonna at the end of the day, we have to transfer that to them because we don't know how long we're gonna be here and we wanna pass on generational wealth. That way they can keep everything going and pass it on to their children and the next generation. And if we don't do that, man, it's just gonna get worse and worse for our people at the end of the day. And that's not what we want. So that'd be something I'd be willing to look into this year for sure. So Mo,
right,
I will be getting with you on a separate occasion to talk about that.
right. So let me get back on this these stocks. We
Yeah.
went, we get excited. We go all we go all over the place. We get
Right.
excited. Oh Lord, it has logged me out. Um okay, yeah, so let me recap a little bit, bring some information back in. So one of the things you talked about this morning is using the debit card at stores where you actually can get stock back. You also spoke in reference to stash having the dividends, that when you get your dividends and you can actually invest back into your stocks. And then we talked about logging on to the stash party every day at 4, and you have the opportunity to get a stock. And I posted those links on the YouTube in the group. I'll repost those as well.
Good.
I'm loving the fact I've been watching that the stock, right? And I say, wow, that merger with Sprint must be doing, they must be doing their thing. I was
That's it,
asked
brother.
Chris this morning. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I didn't mean to interrupt. But I do want to go ahead and answer your question that you asked me this morning
Yeah.
about what you said, when to sell the stock or something.
Yeah, I asked, and Brother African Emporium and Marquise actually can add on to that too as well when you do. I had asked Chris this morning, I said, hey, when do you sell a stock? Do you sell it when you think it's reached its highest peak, or how does that actually work? And and then he gave me his response, and I was like, okay, I think I need to go live and we need to slow this down a bit.
Well, I would want the brothers to chime in. Now what I told Mo was, um, there's two situations that you can approach selling. So I gave her like the investor portion, and then like a day trader. So as an investor, I think the only time I really sell is if I don't really care about the company, or if it's like a free stock I got. I'll look it over, see if it's worth it to keep it, and I'll sell it. Or let's say like a company's being delisted, so they're being removed from an exchange because they can't keep a certain price. I think it's like $1 that they have to stay above for like 6 months, and if they don't, then they get delisted. Uh, Let me ask Oba, is that correct?
Sorry guys, my family just came in. So there's a myriad of different ways or reasons why a person should sell a stock and also take profits in a stock, because again, there's a difference sometimes without necessarily liquidating your entire position and just taking a little bit off the table, right? And so
Right.
through the technical aspects of it, we know about this rebalancing, meaning rebalancing your portfolio. You've been overweight this one stock for a long time because it outperformed a lot of your other positions, done so well, and you want to take some of that capital that you made in gains off that stock and reapply it back to some of those more failing stocks, meaning not necessarily failing, just not necessarily doing as good, and you can still kind of getting in at lower prices or add to it at lower prices, because at some point you know that they may have a certain catalyst to kind of catapult its growth value, right? They may have a delayed, like Brother Mike was saying, delayed gratification, meaning they have a FDA drug they're waiting to get approved, a new technological revolution advancement that may make again life better for others, and they're waiting to kind of get it through the system, through a patent, this, that, and the third. So there's always underlying factors that support a thesis whether persons should take money off the table in a certain stock right now or not. But you have to always understand it from this perspective, right? You in this to make money, right? And we understand that you could do long-term investing, short-term investing, and also in the moment investing. And that's what I love about this, because there's no complete, there's no underlying factor when you can, when you can't. So rule of thumb is typically that anytime you gain well over 30% in 30% in a stock in an investment, you should take some off the table, especially 50%. I think Jim Cramer, some of you guys know from Mad Money, he says typically around 50%, right? But for others, it may be as low as 30%, 20, 25% to 30%, right? And that's not necessarily, again, liquidating the entire position. It just says that if you're overweight meaning you have a lot of your capital in this one position over others, or you might have got in so super low to the point that when the stock, actually took off and began to gain traction, it did so well to the point that what you put in it, you didn't triple that or quadruple that or 4x that, then of course it's easy to say, well, guess what? I'll take half off the table because I'm still in, obviously, at a lower price, right? And I'm still sitting up about 200% out of my 400% increase, to the degree where it's not even going to hurt me, right? Even if the stock pull back a little bit, right? Or it continues to go up. And so that's how you have to look at it, because again, now that money, again, some people wait to certain, aspects of the fiscal, so they don't have to worry about the tax implication. But again, it's still, you're dealing in capital gains. That's what this is all about, right? It's basically free money, right? But the government got to get theirs and the other way around it, right? So, but again, in theory, again, it's always safe to take money off the table a sum off the table, especially if you know it's a good position. Like this Sprint merger thing is just still unfolding. They just got the court case approval that they're good to go, right? Now they still got to go through what all the schematics that was the deal was first put forth in the merger before it becomes even more of a what they call defined, solidified, what in the books kind of what reality, right? So that actually in itself also brings what more news, more of a catalyst to that what that position, right? So again, ever since that news came out, what did Sprint do? It's been going up, right? So good point. I like that you're doing right now, Mo. Not see, that's my sister. She working. She learning now. She's going back to the peak points of Sprint stock when it was at its what highest points, right?
I've been paying attention to class this
You
time.
get it now. That's what it's all about, right? Because past performance is a predictor of future what profitability. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So that's what we look at as investors. We're looking at history. Same way when we study cultural history, you have to look back and see what was happening, right? And how it applies to the present and also going into the future. So if the high way back in what 2013 was around about what $10.58, right? And then you had another peak around let's say 2016, somewhere around there when it hit 2017 when it hit $8. What is that top one up there? What it was up there? $9.43. And today, as of today, Sprint stock is trading at what $8 and what 69 cents, somewhere around $8.70, somewhere around there.
Yeah, something like that.
And it came from how much? $4 and what 30-something cents.
Mm-hmm.
So instantly, you know, from an understanding for a person that was sitting in it that bought in around 430, 470, 480, they've already done what? They've already doubled their investment, right? So technically, you know, they want to take a little bit off the table. See what I'm saying? So they could take a third off, you know what I'm saying, or half off, and they'll still be what? They still be good to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you just paying yourself for your what? Your due diligence and your service, which is the whole portion, understanding why we do this. Does that make sense a little bit? So you have to be able to margin your profit in a way where you feel where it's substantial to be able to what take some off the table in that moment, right? Because you can always what add to your position, right? Because the goal is to buy low, sell high, right?
Right.
So you know at that moment, let's say again, you didn't know it was going to happen so soon, Sister Mo, in this moment. But remember when we did that show, I was like, you know what? That news coming down the pipeline in the time now, in the day now. So it's gonna drive that stock through the what? Through the roof when it happens because people are waiting on this. It's like a pressure cooker. The stock been waiting for so long, but they can get through all this bureaucratic mess that the investor can feel like what Sprint is back again because they did just like you just did, Sister Mo. They went back and looked at Sprint history and they say, man, the last time Sprint stock was trading anything above, you know, this point here was at this year or at this time frame. You see what I'm saying? So now it's like, okay, we can eclipse those old highs and make new highs. And anytime, typically, this is just a rule of thumb of law when it comes to investing. Anytime a stock breaks its old previous high, that's when it continues to, what they call or consider a breakout. Meaning at that point, the sky's the limit. New money comes in. They see that you was able to kind of get back to some old stomping grounds and exceed because your business practices of what have met your what your forecast in terms of what you've been saying you're gonna do or claiming you're gonna do. Now I can see fresh money coming in. Does that make sense a little bit? It's like you got a brand new, you know, tool now. Now you can go out there and do the work of 2 or 3 men now, right? And it appeals other people to want to what, you know, to hire you for your business and your services because they see that you're performing now. So it's all about performance. But along that value, don't forget to what? Pay yourself, right? I'm not gonna say liquidate your position now, Sister Mo, because you know. You only put a few bucks in there, but again, granted, the fact that if you just threw 100 on it, you see what I'm saying? You'd have already what doubled that money, and literally about a week or so, two or 3 weeks, you'd have had your
I
right,
know I added some dollars just in case.
right. So I'm saying you'd have had you a fresh new $100 bill sitting in your bank account right now, a fresh $100.
Right.
Now
Right.
wait, stop right there. Stop right there.
Mhm.
All right. Now talk about that. Go back to how you get to that point of, you know, just the whole dollar amount. Because this is what I was trying to understand the you know, when you make the investment
Right.
and okay, so I see, you know, the current value of my portfolio for the Sprint stock, right? So
Right.
which equals that number of shares, the amount invested, and then the return. So that plus 19.89% to this. What does that mean right there?
That's how
Uh,
much you've gained in profit.
yeah,
Okay.
How
that's
much
the
money your investment has returned you through that
right.
investment in Sprint thus far.
Yeah, right. So yeah, that return. Remember, it was at $4 and shot up to $8. So
Yep.
that's the percentage of return you got, and the dollar amount right there is $7.96. So you invested $40 and profited $7.96.
So you since then added to this position then. I see
Yes.
it now because the last time we did it live, it wasn't. So okay, so now that's interesting. Now here's what's interesting about this moment. See how it shot up so fast and it got you excited to want to invest in it now as opposed to kind of investing in it when it was trading at dirt cheap.
Right.
This is
Mhm.
where we have to use the powers of understanding the dollar cost averaging.
Yeah,
We
that's why I
always
need to
want to
know.
buy what? Buy low and sell what?
Right.
We
Hi.
instantly don't want to buy high unless we see that there's obviously more potential upside, which obviously I'm not saying Sprint not going to have more potential upside. But in a moment when a stock has this ebb and flow, meaning it's like a sine wave, right? That's what stocks do. They go up and they go down, right? Any significant pullback that may come because all this hype is still surrounding the stock and is getting press release news like a rapper or a famous actor or whatever. When that hype dies down, that stock and that particular entity kind of what comes down a little bit, right? And so they have to do something else great. They're gonna what? Get themselves back into the limelight. That makes sense. So
Right.
investing in trading is the same reality, right? So you will always want to try to buy at the lowest price, right? We frugal over here. We stingy over here. Man, I don't even like giving back 30 cents. Right? So,
Right.
I know I am. I'm
Yeah.
like,
The
man, I
other
want to get them.
yeah. The other day was like at $7 or something. And I said, oh, okay, I better, since it's going up, I better give me some down. So if it continues
Right.
to go up, then I make sense out of it.
That makes sense. So you caught it at a point where you got in and the stock continues to do what? It climbed and went higher. So that was actually in a moment a good what moment to add in or average into your position, right? Because it did what? It stayed on this upward trajectory, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? And so that's a part about also this. What we'll teach it and teach people who want to learn that about when to buy, when to sell. Again, y'all know my little model. What, why, where, and when, right? Because it's important to understand what you're buying, right? Why are you buying it? Where you want to potentially look at opportunity to buy in, and when you should pull the trigger. You see what I'm saying? So great point there. I'm happy you stopped me to really break that down because people just feel like, well, I could just buy a stock anyway. It doesn't matter. Well, that's somewhat the thesis that Dr. Boyce Watkins used, and no disrespect to that, because I see what he's saying. But I'm saying in that moment, we're a little bit more technical than that, right? I understand he's just trying to get you invested, and understand that over time, the price of inflation and Federal Reserve and everybody that's doing things to kind of keep these stock over time, the stock will obviously gradually gain ground and start making you return on your investment, right? But we want to think just like the same people sitting down in Wall Street right now in the money pits, right? We want to buy super low and sell it to somebody else at super high, right? So that's the part of the due diligence. That's the part of the education. That's the part of the training that takes it to the next level. So you become just as proficient as a Wall Street broker, right? Because they ain't nothing different than you than me and than they are than we are.
Right. Someone else in the chat asked a question. I got that stock somewhere. They asked me about another ticker. I'm gonna
Oh,
go to it.
AGRX. Is that Brother LB? I see it. Isn't this going on? Yeah. Well, y'all know I've been raving about AGRX for quite a while now. All right. And so guess what? The other day, I told that on the last live stream. They just got the FDA approval Friday after hours around by 6 o'clock. So they actually got the FDA approval for their contraceptive patch called Twirler, which is their staple item, or if you want to call it item or product that they have within their pipeline of products that they offer. Right? They are somewhat not necessarily old company, but they are a company who is up and coming. They're somewhat they've been at this before trying to get an FDA approval. Right? They had to go through a lot of different little hoops to meet that value of the FDA scrutiny, and they finally got their FDA approval. Now, interesting about this particular company, which obviously why I have a little liking in it to a degree, because keep in mind, let me repeat this when I say this to everybody that's listening right now. We don't marry stocks over here. We rent and we lease.
Hey, I do. Hey, I do that. I better stop, huh?
See, Dagger, right? Tell on himself.
I don't get emotionally
Right?
attached.
You don't get
at
emotionally
all.
attached. So,
Too hardcore.
but that's a good point. Here's why I'm saying that in terms of this investment thing, because you don't want to get too attached to a stock to the degree where you don't take profit when you need to. You see what I'm saying? Because you're just saying, oh man, this is the greatest company ever. They just gonna keep going up and up and up. Okay, yeah, that's fine, Dan. They possibly can, right? But why would you not compensate yourself for the level of the work and due diligence that you put in to get to a certain point? Because that's what this is all about. It's about what? Making money, right? Again, you're investing for the opportunity to grow your wealth, your net worth. And so in these moments, if a stock moves, again, goes 100%, what person you know ain't gonna take profit, right? Let me put it in even more layman terms. What person you know that put $100 underneath their pillow when they went to sleep? Y'all see what I'm going there. Woke up the next day and there was $200 underneath there, not gonna take that $100 bill.
Right.
Right? Because they believed in something that, if they woke up or Two Fair or whatever, that they was gonna get $100 bill, not knowing that mom and dad probably putting it underneath there. But anyway, they was entrusting that opportunity that something was gonna happen where that money can grow. Again, y'all get my point when I'm saying that. In that moment, take that profit, or at least, again, like I said, some of it. You see what I'm saying? And so, and this is the AGRX again. They got the FDA approval late after hours Friday. The stock really didn't take off like it probably could have on the understand that anybody get FDA approval. The stocks typically run off. Like I've seen stocks go literally from $3 all the way up to like 20 some odd dollars on the FDA approval in one move. Right? This happened after hours on a 3-day weekend. Right, so all the investors were pretty much shut down their computers and they went on about their day. So that's just the ebb and flow how things work. Sometimes people drop news at not necessarily the best time. You see what I'm saying? Again, so in essence, to that, it's still a viable resource in terms of opportunity, because guess what? Now that clears that window for their product to be sold over the counter now. They can put that product on the shelves now because it's FDA approved, meaning obviously you got to get a prescription for it because it's contraceptive patch, but y'all get my point. And so again, just real quick, there's only one other competitor to this company. One other. That means that the potency of this product is very it's very potent, it's very powerful because they don't have a lot of competition. You see what I'm saying? So it's like Airbus and Boeing, the only two companies on the planet that make airplanes. If you need an airplane and you can't get it for Boeing or Airbus, where you gonna get your airplane from? Right? You're forced to go do business with them. You may not even like those companies. You're forced to do business with them because they actually own a duopoly of that particular industry. You see what I'm saying? And so contraceptive patch or a contraceptive treatment, so to speak, if you want to use that, is somewhat, it's a very ubiquitous item. Not that I'm not that I advocate the product. Don't get me twisted when I say that. I'm an investor, right? You got to separate personal from investing when it comes to investing. I understand the nature of it, you know what I'm saying? And the use case for it. You see what I'm saying? It's a utility product to a degree, right? And here I am sitting there trying to explain contraceptive patch to a woman on the panel, right? But y'all get my point. Y'all know as well as I know. We real people over here. And that's what I love about investing, because again, y'all know there's a lot of people out there that utilize some kind of form of preventive maintenance when it comes to pregnancies, right? And so how easy it is to just slap a patch on as opposed to having to pop a pill every day, or doing the other kind of surgeries. They had to go in there and they had to tie your ovaries up or put some kind of device in the sister and this, that, and the third, and that could fail. You get my point? So that you're just looking at least path of resistance, right? And so in terms of this, you just slap a patch on your elbow or however you put it on, and you go on about your day. And you could somewhat forget about it to a degree until you have to change it out to the next one. You see what I'm saying? So I just look at a lot of different things beyond the sciences. I say, well, is this a good investment for a company to have a product like this? Because keep in mind, anytime a company goes into business, what is their main objective? To build a better mousetrap. Y'all have heard that if y'all watch Shark Tank or these other different business, or probably sat in on boards where people kind of tell you about this is what we're all about. We're trying to build a better mousetrap to have funnel, customers into our business as opposed to our competitors. And so is this not a better mousetrap? They checked off on that block. You know what I'm saying? Is it a good use case for the product? They checked off on that block, right? Is there a big market for this product? I would think so. How many y'all probably? I ain't even use that analogy with us, but y'all know if y'all got them young folks coming up and they female, and y'all trying to protect them from them ragged behind ratchet the predator dudes out there, and you ain't sure, you gonna do what? You see what I'm saying? So again, it's a part of life. We can't get around it, right? Or if not, y'all know the consequences. They can end up pregnant. So again, I just put all that into a simple scenario where you can understand this is how we invest and why we invest for certain aspects of things that we have a probable value in, and thinking that this product will do good for this, that, and the third. You see what I'm saying? So they got their approval. The stock went up about 5%, 7% after hours. They actually went up as high like $4.75, and it came back and settled around about $4.30, right? And that's after it kind of pulled back throughout the week and hit a low around about 288. So it actually, at a point, it went to 288, right? All the way up to like $4.30 some odd cent in a matter of a day or two. Just imagine that. So from 288, if you bought in at 288 and just rolled it back up to what, $4, well, how much you just made in profit? You see what I'm saying? You just picked up $1.12 in profit in one day. Now $1.12 on 100 shares. You see what I'm saying? So how much is that? You see what I'm saying? And that position would have cost you, if you bought 100 shares at $2.88, that position would have cost you how much? $288, right? And you just made $1.12 per your 100 shares. You get what I'm saying? Y'all get where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
So this is why we invest or we trade in all. It's again, it's interchangeable in a lot of ways, but we're looking for those opportunities.
What was that website you gave me? Was it TradeView?
Yeah, TradingView is a good site to use for charting.
Great site.
Yeah, very, very awesome. I used to be again annual subscription holder of them. I used to pay over $200-300, and I just stopped doing that because again, I'm at the point now where I know how to get it done. You know, I don't need to pay them $300 to just use the chart when I can do all what I need to know from other aspects for free. Right?
Well,
But yeah,
what didn't you give us a free one though? I got the wrong thing.
no, that's it. Now TradingView is free. You can use it free. They have a
Oh,
paid
okay.
service too, but I use the free service now.
Oh yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I
Okay,
use the free
yeah.
one now, and I used to pay
I'm
for
gonna put-
the annual subscription.
Yeah, you can only use a certain number of indicators until you pay a subscription, but it's enough to get the job done.
Correct, 100% right, Open Marquise, and that's it. So we're in the business of saving, right? Y'all know how black folks are. We stingy.
Yeah, I need my dollars.
That's what I'm saying. We stingy. We want it. I'm to the point where if I have to skip a meal
Hey,
or think about picking a position,
hey.
guess what I'm gonna do? Y'all already know what I'm gonna do. This ain't no brainer. This is no brainer for me. Like over Chris said, this is no brainer for me, bro. Look at yeah. I don't need to eat one time a day anyway. Leave me alone. I'm finna go.
Hey,
go put it on that position.
You crazy. So LB asks, should I sell now or let it ride? He talking about that
He's in the position. He actually in. Oh, you are in. He said I got in at $2.54. Boom. See what I'm saying? I don't know what made you get into it or however you might have been following me on it, whatever. But the brother got in at $2.54, and now again the position already nearly doubled. It actually doubled at some point because it hit $4.75 and it hit like $4.50 cents throughout the week. So he already doubled that, and that's less than 3 months. I'm sure that he can tell you that was about less than 3 months too. So again, you talk about a 3-month time span, and the brother already doubled his money. Right, to the point where he's about, in the group, he got it from the group chat. He's already about doubled his money. And so again, just like Sister Monica just asked that question, when should you take profit, right? Or when should I take some off the table? So depending upon how many shares you have, and if you also think that the stock is going to continually run, right? Well, what do? If you don't want to liquidate the entire position, you take some off the table, right? At some point, the stock gonna have to come down because y'all know how the thing is in terms of investing. It's the rule of law in terms of gravity, right? It's physics involved. What goes up has to come down some a little bit, right? And all that is that when it goes up and comes down, that means it's allowing new investors to come in, right? It's what they call backfilling. That's a little bit more technical. We can get into that a little later, but the position had to backfill a little bit. It might have to fill a gap that it had when it gapped up on some news, and it has to come back and fill that gap, and then from there, go back up from that point as a launching pad, right? But technically, again, you want to take at least 20 to 30%. I always say a third, just to make it very simple. take a third of your position off, at least a minimum of a third of your position. Does that make sense a little bit? You want
So
to take
when
a
he
third. Go ahead.
when he sells that third, it's gonna reflect in his like a cash in the portfolio.
Right. It's
Yeah,
P&L.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, it's
So
So
I
called.
that
did the
partial.
I did the same thing with what was that? I think I did the same thing with Tesla. When Tesla was like $200 or 200 some dollars way back in the gap. When it shot up the last couple
Right.
months.
The over Chris
So
was in,
some of it,
and a lot of us were trading through the options. It went
right.
literally from 200 and change, right? On the earnings report, it got a big boost on the earnings report. They had a profitable quarter, right? A Q3 report, and it shot up. Boom! It went from there. Literally in about 4 months, it went from 250 or 3 months. I would say about 5 months, but about 4 months, it went from $2, $250 some odd dollars a share, all the way up to $900.68. $68, $968.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did it double, but you could do the math on that. You see what I'm saying? it pretty much 2x. He pretty much 3x, 2 to 3x his money. He 3x his money
Right.
investment. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's why, for us, again, when we're speaking about these things and we're demonstrating or we're speaking about it, we're not, just saying, hey, hypothetically, this is what it would do. No, we're saying this is what we, from a track record, because that's what the charts are for. It's there to give you an indication of where the stock has been and particularly where it could go based upon the forward-looking statements that the company provides you in terms of what? Press releases, SEC filings, cash generating revenue, mergers, this, that, and the third. They're building out their brand or their portfolio of products through constantly trying to find better ways to build a better mousetrap to get people involved to buy their products or their services. So it's no different. So again, as an investor, guess what you do? You leave all the hard work to Elon Musk. You leave all the hard work to their CFO and their engineers and all that, and then you just come in and say, you know what? I'm just gonna be an investor. I'm gonna own a portion of this company and let you do all the hard work. And guess what? You better not mess it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's basically what we're saying. So again, you learn how to let them, go do the hard work, and you benefit off them them getting the job done. And then you could track their progress along the way through SEC filings, through press release, through understanding if they have any kind of notable competition. You see what I'm saying? That's how you follow this up along. Now, anything I'm saying right now, I know it sounds like a lot, but does it sound complicated at the end of the day?
It's simple. It's simple.
I think he's got the picture.
Right. See what I'm saying? So again, you can learn how to do this. So right now, Sister Mo got up the reflection of Tesla, right? She just went to Google and typed in what? Tesla stock. How hard was that? Did she break a fingernail? Did she lose blood? Is she gonna lose sleep tonight? Right?
Yep.
Is she gonna run the bull away because she didn't went in and pulled up Tesla? Y'all get my point. She ain't doing that. And that's rocket science. All of us have that ability if you got a smartphone. Y'all know, y'all have heard my spiel before. You got a smart dumb phone if you ain't using it right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're just paying for the hype more so.
It
You know
took
what
a
I'm
millisecond for those
exactly. It's
that
like
ain't got
buying
time.
100% right over Chris. Just it. So, again, not to bombard the conversation, but y'all see exactly why we, value this information for what it is, because again, you could be a part of this move. So LB, that AGRX program, position you got obviously you got to be able to make that own decision on your own. Obviously, I can't give you financial information to tell you what you can and can't do. Disclaimer. However, I would say this here: if you believe in the product, that is going to grow and continuously do its thing, then obviously you got a choice to make there. And depending on how much you got into it, whether you want to pay yourself a little bit and let the rest keep running and buy on any major dips, all right, or again, just hold it and just let it go. Because again, from the aspect of its competition, if you could, Sister Mo, real quick, and I'll do this and I'm gonna shut up a little bit. Could you go to in your Google search bar and put in XULANE? I think I spelled it right too. I think it's Zulane, if I ain't mistaken. That's the and I'm gonna show you how we do due diligence in terms of quick searching, in terms about figuring out about these different companies and Boom, it already started to come up. See right there, see that Zulane patch? The Zulane, you hit the patch one. Cause y'all can go down and read all the other stuff on your own. All right, so boom, right? So you can click on, scroll down a little bit in within that. Okay. Right there, even right there. See right there? Oh man, it went back. Oh, let me see. Something happened, it bypassed it. Come back up. Okay, yeah, right there. So right there, it's just showing, it's later on YouTube. I forgot I'm looking at both. All right, so
Most slow computer.
so again, guys, y'all can see right here, this Zulane patch, right? Meaning, and just put it in context real quick. It's the only other competitive birth control patch, not necessarily, I didn't say birth control product, I said birth control what? Patch that's on the market. Now it has competition in who? AGRX, Agile Therapeutics, right? Now who's the parenting company to Zulane? I mean, who's the company that owns this product? It showed it when you had it on the first, but you can even pull up through their own through their website if you used to go through their website, right?
Oh, okay.
Because you can go through, Zulane. Well, yeah, if you go back out real quick, right? So right there, it says what? The Zulane, what? Registered patch bar. What that company name?
Oh,
Right
Mylan.
Boom.
Okay.
Now put in Mylan up there in the search bar if you don't mind, real quick. And so we can go look at what Mylan stock, right? So you can see who the competitor to AGRX is in terms of this reality, right? So we walking y'all through this stuff a little slow today, but y'all gonna get this work in a good way. Right? Right? So put in Mylan stock if you could behind. Sometimes it is automatically populated, but put in the stock so we can see.
Oh, put in stock.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the cut. We know they're the parent company to the to that product, right? Boom. See there, the Mylan stock. How much is the share of Mylan right now?
$21.90.
How much is the share of AGRX is right now?
406.
Right,
Oh,
$4.30.
snap.
Yeah.
So it's coming. It's coming.
You see what I'm going? You see where I'm going with this? So now let me slow down just for 2 seconds right here, because now this is where it gets a little bit more intricate, right? This is where I know y'all can do this, and you're not necessarily giving yourself credit that you can do it, because all this is simple research. We didn't do nothing special. We just typed in names. We seen the correlation product. We seen the parent company. We said what their stock price is, right? Because guess what? Mylan might also have other products in there, underneath their brand, which they do, right? Obviously, right? But when it comes to this product, again, we talk about a very ubiquitous product, right? There's ways you can kind of figure out what's the market for such a product, right? And in essence to that, this product with AGRX that just got FDA approval, now this is where it becomes tomato, right? Which one's the better product, right? Because that's what it's all about, right? Who got the better product, right? Do you want to buy a Tesla electrical vehicle, or do you want to buy a GM electrical vehicle? You see what I'm saying? Now, one of them is a little bit more cost effective, but one of them is also a little more technological advanced, right? So it's the same thing when you're looking doing comparative analysis to products, right? Who has the better product, right? So the one thing that because they had to go through a lot of scrutiny to get their product approved too as well, meaning the Mylan product, right? For the Zulane, right? The one thing that makes AGRX better, right, is because it has a patent on its adhesive properties to its patch, and also the level of low dose medicine that it uses for its birth control treatment value. So it eliminates a lot of the side effects and issues that Zulane had when they came through and first got their product approved. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So in that moment, we're looking for, again, the better mousetrap, right? And so that's how people will look at this like, well, this product here has less adhesive problem, meaning it ain't sticking to my body and pulling on my skin off with it when I take it off, right? it's a lower dose in terms of its medicine to prevent, pregnancy, and not necessarily I don't have to deal with all the side effects I get from what? Dealing with what? The one that deals with Xulane. Now, before AGRX came out, did Xulane have any other competitors?
No.
On the PAT side, you see what I'm saying?
No.
So that's how, again, walking y'all through a little bit, but that's how you do natural and also technical due diligence to kind of bring a product or service alive. Now, granted, that don't mean the stock is supposed to turn around and tear out and just go to the roof just because you feel like the product or the service that you want to invest in. Like, we all been there, and I'll be the first one to tell you. I invested in companies I thought that, man, ain't nowhere in the world the world don't know this product. And the stock and investment went nowhere. Right? OTC market full of those type. Right? So we have to realize what's really viable in terms of what the investment world looks at as a great investment, as opposed to what a personal use case might be. Does that make sense? So that way you never put your feelings or your biases in play to a degree where it overcompensates for your ability to understand whether or not it's a good investment or not. You get what I'm saying? So it has to have a viable case where the investment world may look at it like, you know what, this is a good buy because of its value, right? So instantly, if you're looking at
Price will determine if it's a good value or not.
Right. So if you're looking at the two screens that Mo have up here on the split screen, obviously Mylan owns that product Xulane, right? And AGRX is the other what? It's competitor now. Now here's where it get interesting. Now we're gonna put in go to the AGRX side right there, Sister Mo. Put in Agile. It's the company's called Agile, right? AGIL Therapeutics. There you go. Now click on that Agile Therapeutics. All right. Now I should have just told you to put in market cap. So put in Agile Therapeutics market cap. So behind that, put market cap. Boom, it already started pulling up. See right there, it's worth how much the company worth?
241 million.
Now go to the Mylan side and put market cap behind Mylan. All right, we're gonna walk y'all through this today. Y'all gonna be some doggone Warren Buffett running around here for y'all gonna be doing. So pull in Mylan market cap. And let's see if it pull up here. Go to the Mylan side. I think you got to click on it, Sister Mo. Mylan, because you got the stock in there. That's what's messing it up. Just take out the stock and put Mylan market cap. That way, it might just pull up like you was just. All right. So Mylan, I keep on calling it Marlin. Mylan market cap. So click on it.
Click search.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You had to hit the search bar. I'm sorry. It didn't populate it like it did for Agile.
Yeah. I hate when they don't do that.
Yeah. You know how these queries are sometimes. Or Google be on that tripping mess.
Yeah. Sure do.
Boom! Right there. Right. You see it? How much is it? How much is Mylan worth?
11 billion, man.
11 billion. Right? Agile is worth 241 million. Mylan worth what? 11 billion.
Right.
Now, one would surmise that wouldn't it be in the best interest of Mylan if they want to eliminate competition and also bring this better product into their fold, that they might want to do what?
Bottom out.
Boom. Say that again real loud. Say it with your chest.
Buy them out.
Buy them out. Get rid of your competitor altogether. Do they got the cash to buy Agile Therapeutics at?
They definitely have the cash.
And then some, because they can capital finance and use credit to buy them out. They ain't even got to use their free cash flow. That's another little deeper conversation. When you get deep into investing, y'all understand this. But they can buy them out. And the price that the global community is giving them in terms of market cap in this industry, right? Because they say, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they say the birth control business is about a $4 billion business, $4 billion, and that's on a annual floating value, rotation value, somewhere around there, I guess, right? Meaning it obviously is gonna grow because you know you keep having kids. At some point, you know what I'm saying, it's a revolving product, right? This ain't nothing that's going out, end because of this, that, and third. We know that there's a need for contraceptives, right? So in essence, when you put all that stuff together in your head, you say, okay, well, okay, this is a product gonna be around, when I'm gone. Right? They may have newer, different ways, in the future, but as of now, this is a very ubiquitous product, an opportunity here. So if the global market is capturing 4 billion, and Agile Therapeutics is only capturing what, or their market cap is only 241, meaning if they can just capture a third of $4 billion, right? Now we're gonna do a little math. Now we're gonna get to the nitty gritty because y'all gonna get this work in a good little way, and I'm gonna shut my mouth. So what's a third? And I'm just using very basic. What's a 1/3 of 4 billion? So anybody out there, you mathematician, you smart folk, what's 1/3 of 4 billion?
1.2, 1.3. I might be wrong.
So now you talking 4 billion? Because here's how you do it. It's basic. So you could just say, what's 10% of 10% of 4 billion?
That's 400,000.
No, billion with a B. With a B.
400 million.
400 million.
Right. So it's 400 million, right?
Yeah.
So now you doing what? Now you saying a third, right? So that's what? Basically a third is what? Like 33, 33,
Yeah.
right? We get that, right?
Yeah.
So you just basically tack on a couple more what?
120. Wow.
Yeah, you get. See, this stuff ain't rocket science. Y'all gonna get this work, right? So if they just capture a third of that business through this patch, that's 100 and what? How much billion?
120.
120 billion of a company that's worth 240 million.
Mm.
So I'm saying, so my loan may say, you know what? Okay, we'll pay you your projected value if you can capture a third. That puts you around by about 100 and again 120 billion out of the dang, what did I just say? Yeah, 120 billion of a 4 billion market value, right? If that's even on the annual basis, because you can pull up this information, figure out how much this company or this product is making on an annual floating basis, right? You see where I'm going with this? Hypothetically, from the number value, they can buy them out for let's say a billion and be done with it.
Yep.
Now that's when it gets interesting, because now you have to figure out how much of that relegates back to the stock price, meaning how much the stock will be worth at that fraction of value or that value of what they consider the market supposed to be for that product. You see what I'm saying? Now, again, before I get even technical, even with that, before we even go there, if Mylan stock is on trading at $21 a share, and they add this particular opportunity to their portfolio, and the amount of money potential that it can capture through the market in this industry, you see where I'm going with this? It's a win-win for both. So they would easily pay a minimum. Again, this hypothetical. Don't quote me on it. I'm just using it as training purposes. A minimum of $30 to $50 a share. A minimum. You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
A minimum of $30 to $50 a share. So technically, from where the stock price is at now, in essence, again, if you do that differential in terms of the percentage gain, right? You could do, y'all know how to break down the percentage gains in terms of where the stock is at now to what that price would be at that point. The percentage gain in that, you'll see that's how you project the value, or you project the value of what a asset may be worth based upon a lot of different underlying factors: FDA approvals, product value, placement. Again, a growing market that may be good for that those products that's within that that service sector or that service product sector. Y'all see where I'm going with this?
Definitely.
You can walk your way through this stuff and not have to be complicated. Complicated. You do the same thing when you do Nikes and Adidas and Under Armour.
Yep.
Do we not? We see who captured the most market share by cutting on the TV, by looking at billboards. You say, well, dang, they must be doing something because they dominate the airways now. They got the contract to the NFL rights this year. They got the contract to the FIFA World Cup sponsorship this year. So they gaining a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? And then you just start parsing out in terms of, where they all sit in terms of that space.
That took all of but 10 to 15 minutes to
All
find
but
that
10
right
to
there.
15 minutes in that moment. You see what I'm saying? So we eliminate the excuses by saying that you can't learn to do this. And we didn't do nothing special. Mo, I'll ask you, Sister Mo, because you still learn. Does anything you just did seem like it was complicated or rocket science to you?
No,
Did you need any extra education from MIT or Harvard or Yale to do what you just did?
negative.
Did you have to have a math degree or some kind of form of mathematics, to break this equation down and this, that, and the third?
Surely did not.
What percentage of this seemed more like common sense than it even seemed to be technical? If I was to ask you that,
At least 95.5.
right? Common sense, right? There's
100%.
they even got investments out there where you can do those kind of investment, do the ESG and things of that nature, right? Y'all can put it. Matter of fact, just throw that in right now. So ESG in your search bar right there.
ESG.
Yeah, ESG, because that's the new wave of tech investment that the world is moving towards in a lot of ways too. So y'all can get that work too. So
ESG what?
right, just put in ESG and put definition behind
Definition. Define. Okay.
it. Definition. All right, so ESG definition. Right there. Boom. Now y'all finna get to work. I'm dropping some
Environmental. Oh
Let me go the
yeah.
other way.
Yeah.
Right there. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Define ESG. ESG investing or ESG?
Just put ESG as a whole, because it's still relegated back to the same. Oh, go ahead, brother Mark. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna ask, is it the same as like the environmentally responsible investing?
So it says what? Click on the definition real quick.
Environmental, social, and governance.
This one?
Yeah, and one of y'all
Okay.
can read it out when it comes up. So because that's Investopedia. Remember, that's our Wikipedia, Investopedia, which is better actually.
Right.
than the other.
Facts.
All right, this is where we go get all our data from, right? So somebody read what are environmental, social, and governance ESG criteria, or meaning basically what it is. Just that.
Mo?
Can me read it? Okay.
Yeah.
Any of you guys.
Okay. Yeah, because I probably could see it better. Y'all probably on your phone. Oh man, what's this stupid advertisement? Okay, hold on. Let me make it come down. I need an Apple, so if anybody want to donate to that fund.
Right? On the app, computer fund, baby. Let's get it.
Oh my goodness. What is this advertising? Hold on. Let me get rid of the little.
It's
Oh
fine.
my
Yeah.
God.
That's how they make their
Go
little
back.
money.
I'm sorry, guys.
Exactly.
Better take some of that Sprint money.
I ain't getting there yet.
Be like,
I'm learning.
While you
I'm
trying to
learning.
figure that out, y'all need to look at AGRX and see if it's a good long-term investment for you. It might be if you into that type of stuff, with the bird patches and all of that. So
it's just
Man, I
like
got
any
all
other
the
stocks out
companies
there,
out
guys.
there.
It's just understanding that there's so many of them out there. Just by you having again, that's why I went to the ESG for a reason, y'all. It's segueing right to that conversation about ESG, right? Because the goal in business, right? Some of you guys own your own business, y'all know exactly what I'm saying. It's always about building the better mousetrap, right? How to funnel business towards your stream, pretty much your lane than that of your competitors, right? Even though y'all may be selling the same product, one of y'all got to have a better one than the other, or it could be just evenly matched, right? So then, if they're evenly matched, how do you distinguish which one is better than the other? Then it might be through your customer service, right? Through how you your marketing advertisement. You see what I'm saying? So it kind of goes into the whole idea of ESG to a degree, because if your customer service up and you got a really good product, do you think people still gonna beat down your door to buy your product?
You better say that.
At some point,
All
they're
right.
still gonna look at you like, man, I don't care how good your product is, man, your attitude sucks.
Sure
I'm
will.
gonna pay those little few extra bucks over there because I don't want to.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? People fail to realize that, and that's what the Black community needs more than anything. We need a customer service overhaul. I'm just gonna keep it 100. And again, y'all can back me up if you don't, but that's just what I've seen in my years as an entrepreneur and just being around our people. We need a customer service overhaul. Sometimes my attitude doesn't reflect the values of what we're trying to push, and it gets in the way of our money, right? And that's why we can't do the things we want, because people don't want to deal with you, but they like what you may offer as a product or a service. You see what I'm saying? So we have to get better at that. So real
That's
quick,
that ego.
that's that ego, is it? So read
Okay.
that, Sister Mo. What does ESG mean?
Yeah, what are environmental, social, and governance criteria? Environmental, social, and governance criteria are a set of standards for a company's operations that socially conscious investors use to screen potential
Stop right
investments.
there. What it says? What socially? What?
Socially conscious investors.
I rest my case, Your Honor. I rest my case, Your Honor. Exhibit A. Right? Go, keep going, sis.
Okay.
Dagger.
Environmental criteria consider how a company performs as a steward of nature. Social criteria examine how it manages relationships with employees, suppliers, customers, and the communities where it operates. Governance deals with a company's leadership, executive pay, audits, internal controls, and shareholder rights.
Boom. So putting that all that into one package, what does that say to you, Brother Marquise?
Got a new word. Okay.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Putting out all that, what you just heard and she read, what does that mean to you?
I missed it. I'm sorry. I missed it.
It's well. But over Chris, what does that mean to you?
That you're
I know everybody.
Let's
Oh,
see,
yeah.
environmental.
means that they're paying attention to your overall culture and the behavior of company, not just included the actual products and services that you're issuing out, but those who you have working with you, how you manage your administrative, organize and manage, how you who you have invested in you, all that.
Even down to executive what?
Executive pay,
Hey.
even your pay, how much you get paid.
So
is
he
top
can't be
heavy,
making billions
social
and billions of dollars,
responsibilities,
and
and
the
everybody
lowest
else
person.
making pennies.
Hello,
Hey,
is that not what been the problem with capitalism for the past 30, 40
Yep.
years?
Can y'all
Yeah.
hear me?
Oh, go ahead. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
hear you now.
Oh shoot, I went out for a second. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I saw that too. I said you blanked out. So I think I was thinking in my head. I think Brother Chris fell out for a minute, came back. But that's
Okay.
basically what it, brother. Yep, 100% right. Brother T Gavitt, customer service. In terms of how it revolves back to what? Environmental social government. That whole Greta Thunberg thing, this little climate change little woman running, little girl running around the world right now. You know,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
see what I'm saying? But now this where it gets very, very reality based. Are we not moving more toward a ESG type world?
Definitely.
Yeah.
If anybody dispute that, show me your reason why you feel like we're not moving towards a more environmental friendly type world, a more socially again applicable and applicable type world, and a governance type world where big government can't necessarily rule over your entire existence like you're a slave to a degree. Are we not moving towards those standards?
Yep.
A la
Definitely
Bitcoin,
are.
a la Tesla, a la disruptive technologies and things of that nature that will kind of make our lives a little bit more viable in terms of how governments don't necessarily see you as that. They see you as a pawn, this, that, and third. So ESG investments are just that, or they have, spin-offs to that degree that kind of fall within that parameter of understanding what this is all about. So this is what you want to funnel your children to, right? Because they're going to be the ones that take over what we leave behind. So they need to understand what ESG mean, the values and different things out there. So real quick, Sister Mo, you could back up, and that's a good site to archive too for your future reference, Sister Mo. So you might want to archive that, put in your stock stuff. But go to ESG stocks, right? After you bookmark that baby there, go to ESG stocks.
Leo should be up under that.
Yeah, a lot of pension funds and other fund managers don't even want to invest in certain hedge funds unless you are, compliant with that.
Right. That's the whole little reality there. See what I'm saying? Because they understand that's where the world is moving, and there's going to be more money. There you go, ESG stocks to buy. Or you can put that. You can put ESG stocks. All right. So that's the one of the Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh, you good. You good.
We know who our shares is.
All right. So right there, so good. Even Investopedia says 10 most popular stocks for ESG funds.
Yeah.
Over Marquis just speak about those funds, right? Over Christian touched on some of this stuff. So just those ones right there in that box alone, before you even have to click on that, it says HBI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? GP, Gap, even Gap Store. Who knew? Gap Incorporated, Gap of all places. right? Because they
Right.
use some kind of form of practices that are more what? Environmental and social governance that's friendly to the environment or to the degree of people
They,
use, right?
they
Perego,
ahead of the curve.
ahead of the curve, right? Even though the stock trash and getting beat up lately because people ain't got there yet. But y'all get what I'm saying? They're starting to try to revamp to get ready for that that new flux of understanding this new metric to kind of put into the fold of how you do your due diligence, find certain stocks, this, that, and the third. ADS, Holix, again, they're just some of them, PRN, and there's others too. But I'm saying that don't mean you stop everything you do and just go around strictly to ESG stocks unless you feel like that's what you about. But that's why I said, because it says what? Socially, right? Socially conscious type investments. So at some point, some of these going to be probably greater than others. But that field of investment value is starting to becoming a little bit more what? Attractive now to hedge funds, to those who are looking at the future like, man, we got to do better, right? Because these young folks ain't buying what we selling anymore. And case in point, the oil market. Oil is on a skid to literally to the bathroom right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the brothers and sisters on the panel right now can attest to it. The price of oil is gonna be about the price of a pack of bologna in about the next.
Yeah. It's in the sucking place.
Exactly. Because people are getting away from what? Fossil fuels, right?
That. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's not sustainable and it hurts the country environments, right? Fracking, all this gas byproduct blow-offs and this, that, and the third, how it affects the water. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Right? Because before they used those as a way to build, their empires. Obviously, you know what I'm saying when I say that. So now that people are looking for a more sustainable way because they see how it has damaged so-called the planet, right? They're looking for other ways to now, to get into other investment. Wind turbine, electrical vehicle. Obviously, Nikola Tesla, now Elon Musk, right? This, that, and the third. Less, agitating, aggravating nature to get a product or service that could be used and also be, something that could be also biodegradable in some cases. Or just, y'all get what I'm saying, right? So now a lot of these countries that are coming online, meaning they're growing, they're moving from a third world country to a first power or first world power type environment, right? Like India, right? Like a Brazil, a Venezuela, certain parts of China. Y'all get one, y'all see where I'm going? Africa, obviously, right? There's gonna be a need for industry to be in these certain sectors to what? Help them build out their infrastructure in a more sustainable way, right? So guess what? They are considered the emerging markets. Emerging markets, meaning these are emerging conglomerate environments where they have the head count, meaning the people, to obviously when they build it out, there's going to be a lot of money, right? People that can afford products and services because now they got the jobs and this, that, and the third to what? Continue to growing, right? So this is where you want to be, even in terms of those kind of values of investment, because they actually kind of fall somewhat in line with the ESG type investments, but they're different. They're called emerging markets. So I don't know if you can, Sister Mo, real quick. Can you go back to your screen, or if not, I'll do it real quick on mine. But either way, I just want to kind of touch base a little bit because see, I see people in the back chat. They keep it up. They got it. See, I ain't see y'all getting this stuff, man. Y'all getting this stuff. I love it. Y'all already knew this stuff a lot of ways, and y'all just didn't necessarily give yourself credit for it. That's all it was.
Yeah, you just gotta understand the terms, the terminology.
That's all it is. So they ain't nothing that we don't already. We got our little hood term, then they got their little Wall Street term. Well, guess what? They interchangeable because it's all about getting to the bag.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They keep 100. So I'll do it real quick. I think Sister Mo thing went out. So emerging markets.
Step out for a second.
Yeah, so, okay. Yeah, I'll do it real fast, guys. And again, let me share my screen really quick. I'll be quick on it. All right. Really quick. All right. So we're gonna put in emerging markets, right? Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right.
Yes,
So real quick, right? So emerging markets, right? Obviously, these is a kind of indication of certain the different companies that are out there, all right? How they will be, somewhat, viable for the future, right? In terms of, investment values, right? So when we say emerging markets, right? So like I'll just describe some of them. So you got on here, it says what? Brazil. Can you guys see my screen pretty clearly? I'll blow it up for people in the back on YouTube. So you got what? Brazil, Chile, China, Colombia, Czech Republic, Egypt, Greece, Hungary, India, Indonesia, Korea, Malaysia, Mexico, Morocco, Qatar, Peru, Philippines, Poland, Russia, South Africa, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, Turkey, and United Arab Emirates. These are now just looking at that list of names. Some of these countries already got some money because they got natural resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
They might not just have the infrastructure to build this stuff out quite yet, but they are considered to be a part of the emerging market because they're growing. Now, India alone has I think the second largest populace of people on the planet, anywhere on the planet besides China, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds about right.
Right, but they have extreme poverty, right? Extreme, lack of value because the government hadn't really built them out into the the infrastructure they could be, right? So that means when they actually come online, because they're doing it now, they're in the process of doing it now. Because companies are over there like Apple and Google and y'all know all the other major companies. They're in there trying to get some of that fresh powder, right? Because they know that in the future, India is going to be a power because they have the head count, right? We know America can only hold so many people in it, right? Because as of now, we got 360 million people in America, something like that.
Yeah.
Now imagine India that has billions.
Hmm.
Imagine, like Buddy said on the movie Avatar, look at all that cheddar. Look at all that cheddar. That's exactly what Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and everybody else, that's what they look at when they look at India. Warren Buffett, all of them looking at all that cheddar.
Right.
Because they're playing chess and not checkers. Right? So guess what? You could be a part of that same wave of understanding and investment. And it actually somewhat falls into the line of ESG type investing, because it's about the social governance and helping people to have a better quality of life. And less dominating governance that keeping these people from really having a good life. And they got resources in India that the world can benefit from, right?
Yeah.
So you think about emerging market, right? So just as a portfolio value, right? Right. These are the type of stocks that you can have in your portfolio, to round out your portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see where I'm going with this? So again, being that it's a young market to a degree, over time it's only going to get bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means you kind of coming in a lot early, right? Let me go to a more refined one so we can probably pull it up. That's just
Yeah,
slow.
the early adapters are the ones who make the most money. You get in there
Yep.
first. Once everybody a part of it, then the value has to be spread out.
Right.
But,
Yep.
And these
get
are
in that
mutual
thing
funds.
early.
Exactly. Right. A lot of these are mutual funds too, and ETFs, things of that nature that you can get a collective of them. And so there's several ones out there, right? And we know China is a great example because look how fast China then built itself up to a superpower in literally less than 20 years.
Quick.
Literally. You see what I'm saying? So this is what we got to get, these people out here making all this money. I'm just saying, bro. And we sitting over here, y'all get what I'm saying. So again, the iShares MCASI, right? That's another a fund value that people govern or manage to see exactly how the emerging markets are going, right? It's the ETF, it's the EEM, EEM, right?
Wow.
How much did it go up over last year? Can y'all see that?
14.6%.
14.6% last year. That means in 1 year it gave you a return of how much? 14.6%.
And what's crazy is I actually traded that. I believe I traded that before. I didn't even know what it was.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your bank account or your money market account, how much did they give you on your money market account on your money? You see what I'm saying with this? Or so if you can't get a bank account, you went through Green Dot, right? And you got the stash account. Y'all see where I'm going with this, right? I always loop it around, bring it full circle.
Bring it right back.
I bring it right back, right? Forget the banks. You know what I'm saying? You still could have pulled down 14.6% just alone if you just invested in the EEM, emerging market ETF, and it's going to only continue to grow because now, just from the data in terms of the smart people out there, the smart hedge fund, smart financial economic advisors out there, they're already knowing that we're already into 11-year bull cycle in terms of American markets. At some point, this market has to cool off. And when money starts fleeing out of these overpriced stocks in America, where they're going to go? Where else you going to reposition your money into? What? Gold, crypto, and emerging markets.
Yep.
Because
to different hedges.
Exactly. They're dirt cheap. You see where I'm going with this? So this ain't rocket science, guys. Some of y'all already figured this stuff out in your head and seen it and tested and spoke about it. Just putting it together, learning how to put it together, that's when the rubber meets the road. You see what I'm saying? How to take it from its raw state in terms of data and transfer it into what? An investment vehicle value in terms of Stash, Acorn, Webull, Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, this, that, and the third. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
So that's why this stuff is important. So those are two primary talking points that you guys need to keep on your radar. What? Emerging markets and what? ESG type investments, right? Not saying you go all in on either one of them. You can, that's on you, but you got to do your own due diligence and never invest more than you have willing to lose. However, understand that the future is about what? Sustainability.
Right.
And they're going to be based on those ESG based type investments and also EM, because we know fossil fuels are becoming a thing of the past. They're losing share count value every day uncontrollably, to the point where people who've been in fossil fuel industry for years and years and made trillions of dollars can't they have no clue on how they're going to fight this. So at some point they're going to stop fighting and they're going to do what? If you can't beat them, you got to do what?
Join them.
Join them.
And they got what? The money to do it, because they done made trillions off of what? Fossil fuels for how many years? Think about it. You see what I'm saying? They got old money. They got them $100 bills that look like alien money. You don't even know this. They probably fake because it's so old. They got that kind of money, Industrial Revolution type money. You see what I'm saying? So this, because the fossil fuels was so integral to what? That expansion. Even the wars, right? Wars cost money. Well, what did they use to power World War I and World War II with? Fossil fuels.
Yep.
Those are major supply, because if you can't move your tank and you can't move your plane, how you gonna fight?
Can't.
You see what I'm saying? This stuff ain't rocket science, guys. So again, we just coming in as some outsiders looking at it like, see now they fighting over all the stuff that they stole from us anyway, used off us to get to where they need to go. And now they need making a muck of us. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna come in through the back door, right? And we're gonna take away what we can from what they owe us anyway. And we just gonna play the game the same way they trying to play us, and like we don't know this stuff. But they'll lie, right? We are just as much capable to learn, if not exceed them, than what they can think that then they think that they're getting over on us with. Does that make sense? So again, this ain't rocket science. Use your apparatus for smart things to get to the bag, right?
Trying to get our money back.
Exactly.
Yeah. Everything else, that's a distraction. They put a lot of distractions out there to distract you from this store right there. What's going on right here?
Boom.
You know?
Tons of it. Every day you got something to distract you, to take you off the main focus of what you need to be focused on. Especially in our case, in terms of Black folks, is what? Aggregating our what? Our financial resources, a la Dr. Claude Anderson. Amalgamating your resources, right?
Powernomics.
Forming think tanks. Again, what we got going on today is another form of a think tank. Hate on it all you want, but that's exactly what we're doing. We're breaking down what? Data, right? We're breaking down numbers. We're breaking down, and we're showing you. So it's not that just we're talking, we're demonstrating. Because guess what? Y'all know in the world of investment, what? Numbers don't lie. That's what I love about it. Because you can call a joke out on some other stuff. But in this world here, numbers don't lie, bro. Meaning they can be skewed too. I ain't saying they can't. But in the day, if the tally is what it's gonna be, is what it is, ain't no other way around it. It is what it is. Right?
You see how the Fed pumping the markets.
Exactly. All right. So again, them just a list of some of the emerging market companies that are inside that. You got JD.com, Kiwi, Samsung, Mobile Telesystem, PJSC. I mean, there's so many, but again, those are just some of the companies within those emerging markets. So they're actually a player in that ETF that round them out, because these are companies who are also investing in what? These new evolving countries to come online. They're going to need telecommunications. They're going to need, data centers. They're going to need distribution and services to kind of funnel products in and out easily, right? They're going to need all this different stuff, right? And so all these other companies are scrambling to get there. Guess what they're going to try to do? Get in early so they can benefit off that all that cheddar, that head count.
That growth.
Right? And case in point, I'm going to shut up and let you guys continue to build it. Somebody just made a major move into Africa recently, to the tune where he left his CEO post to go to Africa to help Africa build out. If anybody know that answer real quick, you let me know. If not,
Man, I seen that.
see,
God.
think about it. Think about it real hard. Don't cheat. Don't go to Google real quick unless you're in the back chat. But my
It
pen
was,
on the panel right now, because this is our lane.
I'm gonna be
it was
quiet.
the,
It's following the tip of your tongue too, Sister Mo. Anybody that may be, but a
I'm gonna be
major
quiet.
player
I'm
too,
gonna
a
go get it.
major player just made a move, and it actually kind of ties into some of the stuff we've been talking about a little bit today. Somewhat made a major move into Africa, left his CEO post to another active CEO to go build out Africa right now. He's already over there making moves.
I
Anybody
just
can name that person.
go ahead because I just seen that and I was like, wow, that's interesting.
Jack Dorsey, the owner of Twitter and Square.
Twitter and Square, that's what it
Yeah.
was.
Jack
Yeah,
Dorsey.
I thought that was so
Wall
cool.
Street actually
I
even got mad because this man is trying to go build out Africa and not like Europe or
Yes.
somewhere else. So that lets you know what they're trying to do. Let me
it was did we put that article in the back chat?
Yeah, it was
we may have a
last
while
week
back.
we did it.
Yeah, it was a while
We
ago.
did it last
because-
week and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, he was it was in that article. They said he lives in he spends time in Africa, does business. Yep, that's a fact.
Jack Dorsey.
Yep, so live.
These people ain't stupid. They know where the expansion is going to happen. It's going to come in the form of Africa. It's going to come in the form of India. It's going to come in the form of Brazil, Chile, all of some of the names I named off on emerging markets. And they also going to be in relation to some of the stuff in terms of ESG. You see what I'm saying? So y'all see how,
Places they suppressed over the years, now they got no choice but to
Exactly.
turn to because everywhere else is already exalted.
exactly, because at the end of the day, all they're doing is getting using cheap labor to build out their products and services and put a margin price on expansion so big that if grandma saw it, she'd probably have a heart attack.
That's right.
Because she can go down to that same little dirt pile and pull up those same resources, do what she need to do from it and move on, and it only costs her pennies on a dollar. But they turn around and get it, do all the other stuff. We know there's other things that come along with it, I get it, but they turn around and put like a 200 or 2x or 3x markup on that product, a 4x markup on that product, and then sell it back to you. And then you get all excited because you can pay $500 for a product or a service like you're doing something, or $1,000+ for a phone because you think you got it, because you can do that because you think you're doing something, and don't even realize that
and
y'all
they
get
slow
what-
it down on you.
right, and they hitting the brakes on it through the computer, slowing your phone down, and you can't even benefit the way you want to because they playing games on you so you can turn around and go get the upgrade.
That's right.
Again, I know I go off on these tangents, but y'all see how all this stuff is. This is how we're gonna be ahead of the game, and we're gonna get right in the same, you know what I'm saying, in lanes with some of these other people and make these moves in a way that's going to benefit not only us, but our future generation, because the future generation is going to inherit what? ESG type governance values and socially conscious type constructs that's going to make their lives better. And also they're going to be a part of the expansion of what emerging markets building themselves up. And just as fast as the Bilderbergs and the central banks, and I ain't got I'm not put on my tinfoil and conspiracy hat. The faster these people can turn around and bomb these so-called countries all the time, and they always use that term, bombing back to the Stone Age. Well, they do that for a reason, because they knew some of these countries ever built themselves out the way they could because they got the resource on the ground. It can peace with them, meaning the central banks, because some of these countries are not part of the central banking system. They're sovereign debt, sovereign free countries.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning the central banks can't leech off them. That's why they always trying to bomb them and put sanctions on them and say that they doing all kinds of things they probably ain't doing, because it's the media involved too. They have a vested interest to be there slandering these places.
And they'll tell you after.
Exactly.
A couple years after, they'll tell you.
He who controls the bullets and the bandages stands to gain exponentially.
Right.
The bullets and the bandages, they gain exponentially. They start to instigate the beef, start the war, come in, and then what? Come in afterwards and get all the contracts. Mo know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Get all the contracts and build out these societies back up into what they want it to be, more or less, than what the people actually needed to be. So this is why this stuff is important, guys. This is why, for us in terms of investors, how we're not so far off the trail than these so-called our diametric opposite and so-called white investors or any other investors. They have no other special angle at this stuff than we do, besides some of them are in control of some of these levers that are being pulled. right? To affect, the economy and this, that, and the third, but we could be just as viable in them as everybody else. So again, I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna shut up and go into learn mode too and let everybody else build. But I just want to tie all that back into, to what we've been discussing here in terms of how intricate but not so complicated a lot of this stuff is all about. So when you bring it all the way back down to a product like Agile Therapeutics in the patch, or a Tesla, right, or Apple, or whatever product out there that you may have a liking to, or Kraft Heinz because they sell you ketchup and your little, your little GMO mac and cheese, they don't throw too many shots, right? But y'all get my point. You got to think about where they've been in their historical aspect, where they are today, and do you see them as a viable player in the future? And one more thing, take the company called Ford Motor Company, right? How long has Ford Motor Company been around?
Yeah.
Anybody in the back chat, anybody on the panel, how long y'all think Ford been around?
Probably like 1805, something like that.
A long time, right? Now, I don't know if Mo can do it real quick. If not, I'll do it real quick. But I'm just gonna use this last little point. Then I'm gonna go to learn mode and shut up here. Ford stock, right? We just put in Ford stock, right? Real quick for the family, real quick. Y'all bear with your brother for 2 hot seconds, right? Because I want y'all to see this here and let you. That's why you got to realize every good investment ain't always a good one too, unless they can perform some of those same things we talked about in terms of ESG, right, or EMC values, emerging markets, or they can build a better mousetrap to compete with its competitors, right? Can y'all see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So I'm finna go to Max of Ford stock, right? Ford stock, and they actually been on and off too, which is crazy too. So Ford stock, back in 1980 was trading at $1.36 a share. Now we know the company's been around a lot longer than that, right? We know they had private shares at some point. We can go back through the history and dig all that up, right? Because we know the stock value of the company goes way back to the 1800s, right? All right, but let's go there real quick. So the price in 1980 was $1.36. Right here, as you can see in this big peak up here, this big peak point in 1999, right? The year that the world's supposed to end, you know what I'm saying? 1999. We're gonna pause like a 1999, print style, right? The stock had went all the way up as high as $37.15 a share. Again, now I'm making a point. Y'all follow me for a minute. I always tell people there's a method to my madness. How long has Ford been around though? Forever, right? You would think a company like Ford stock would be trading at the price of what Tesla is right now, or Amazon, or Google, right? Over $1,000 a share, dang there. It only seems plausible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a problem with that, because like anything, in terms of even the auto industry, the margin value to make these cars and build them out, it costs a lot of what? A lot of money. It's a lot of machinery, a lot of product, fossil fuel, this, that, and third. And so even a well-oiled machine in Ford, because they figured out how to make the assembly line much more smooth and better so they could churn out all these different vehicles, right? But they know that they have something else. They have what? Other what? Competitors. How many different car companies around the world right now? See what I'm saying? There's a lot. See what I'm saying? And so because of that, again, to get market share in an already very labor-intensive capital investing type of product or that they're offering in their cars, which is costs a lot to make a car, it costs a lot. It actually does. It ain't like a pair of Jordans, right? How much does it cost to make a pair of Jordans? Anybody?
A couple cents.
It's a few dollars. It's more than, I think the last check they say was around about between $13 and $17, right? To make a pair of Jordans. Landed in the warehouse and everything, right? Well, maybe landed around about, we just say 20 hypothetical, right? I mean, the product made, shipped, and landed in your warehouse, right? About 20 some odd dollars, right? Give or take. It could be cheaper or less, right? We don't say Jordan because they use obviously supposed to be used a little better material and all that. Well, we know the deal, right? But some other companies only cost about $7, $8 to make their shoes, but they still selling for what? $100 plus dollars for those pairs of shoes, right? Y'all see where I'm going with this? So the price of cars to make a car, you can't really skimp too much because it costs a lot for raw materials and fossil fuels, and y'all get where I'm going? So if they mark the car by another what? 10 grand or 15 grand, whatever, that's that by far they can stretch it. You know what I'm saying? They stretch it then. That's why the price of cars come down a lot fast, and they depreciate what? Really fast. The cost of a car would depreciate faster than you can hit that ignition switch. You time you hit that
Yep.
ignition switch and crank it up, you already lost $3,000. Like, bro, I only hit the gas pedal one time.
Yeah. As
I
soon as
ain't
you
got
drive
1
off
mile
the
on it,
lot,
bro. I
though,
already went down $3,000.
as soon as you drive it off the lot, the value go
Bruh.
down.
Bro, you might want to take it to the bread wagon lot. Just, hey, put it straight to the limit lot after you buy it. So this is what I'm saying. So again, I'm not speaking in that y'all already know. This is economics. This is price, price cost analysis, margin factors, time and history. So Ford right now went from $37 back in 1999 all the way as low as $4.91, $2.29 in 2008. Well, we know what happened during 2007, 2008. We had the market crash, right? Big market crash, right? Stock went from 37 all the way down to $2.29 a share. Ford. Some of y'all probably got Fords and know somebody driving Ford, right? Guess what? It slightly rebound, got as high as what? Around about $16, right? Back up around about 2011, right? Because guess what? Income federal what? Quantitative easing, repo markets, they started injecting money into the market, right? They came to bail these companies out. That's what they did, right? They did not bail out the auto industry and the banking system during that time.
Yep.
They bailed out the car industry. Y'all remember that? Obama, right? He bailed out the car industry, which some of these, remember that was the whole conversation back then. Should these companies fail? GM, Ford, right? They knew what they was getting into. They were being greedy, right? And they didn't plan for what? A rainy day. And so because of that, they was affecting taxpayers to what? Bail them out. Did we not do that with the banking system and also what? Subprime, the housing. Y'all get it. Y'all historians, right? But I'm making a point. So ever since then, it hit a peak around that 16 bucks, went down, dropped to 10, got back up as high, maybe like my 17, whatever the case like that, right? And now it's trading at how much a share? $8 and what? 10 cents a share. Do you think, again, this is a question for everybody in the back chat and in the panel. Do y'all think if Ford don't change its practices and move into ESG and also emerging markets in a way where they can go and try to capture that market, obviously they have to build a better what? A better mousetrap. They have to build a type of vehicle that can help them. If not, what's going to happen to their stock?
It's gonna crash.
It's going to stay stagnant or it's going to what? It's going to crash. You see where I'm going with this? So a person that don't understand this, they'll come in and say, well, hey, I think Ford is a good investment because they've been around forever. Wrong.
Nope.
Wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
That
the one
stuff don't
thing,
mean
but the one thing Ford do is they pay a good what?
dividend yield.
You better say that.
That's the only reason why I got it.
You see what I'm going? So there's two ways to skin a cat. Not just one way, but it's what? It's two ways in the investing world. They pay how much on that yield? Look at that right there. How much they pay? They pay what? 7.41%.
Hard to let it go.
Do your bank pay you 7% on your money right now? Go.
That's a negative.
You see where I'm going with this? So there's ways to even, if you want
Not
to
even
invest
in
them.
the slightest.
Say again, Sister Mo?
Not even in the slightest.
Not even the slightest. I'm talking about you might have come in there with about 100K. They still trying to say, we'll give you 5, maybe 5, maybe 5. They sitting there pulling your leg just for that, pulling your teeth for that. Ford gives you 7.41%. Now, I'm going somewhere with that moment too. You can even invest in Ford stock knowing that it's in the point where it's just been consolidating, going in a straight line, basically for the past, 2-3 years, ain't really going nowhere, right? As a somewhat of a safe investment just to capture the dividend alone and then get out of it. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Meaning if you in, because they say it takes about, I think, 22 days before at a dividend to be counted as a dividend holder before they pay you out, somewhere around there between 22 and 25 days. So if you in at the ex-dividend date, meaning at the date before that you have to be in before do you be counted as a dividend payer? If you get in during that time of that price, right, and that time buy your shares, right, just to capture what? 7.41%, right? When they pay out about 20 days later, 22 days later, and then you can turn around and sell on the same day when that dividend hits your account, you do what? Sell it all.
Sell it all.
So not only if Ford went up in that time frame, hopefully they do, and you capture, let's say, an extra 2%, 3%, 6% in Ford stock in that moment, on top of the 7.41% yield, guess what? you dividend investing and get into just using the dividend as a what? A bill payment value or collecting just to capture the dividend, and then you out of there. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
Is this stuff making sense to y'all? Right? Because the stock ain't really going nowhere. It's not really a hard detriment to the point where we say it's just going to fall out tomorrow and have something crazy have to happen, but because it's just going to go sideways. And if you just need to start go sideways for what? 20-some days just to get the dividend, you ain't lost nothing on the stock, but you gain some in the dividend yield. So guess what?
It's
If you
supposed
put
to be making a Ford Mustang electrical vehicle.
I'm finna go there. They now starting to try to get on board, right? Because they need to try to compete with what? Teslas and these other companies that are moving towards electric vehicles. So they then unveiled their new what? E-Mach. It's called the E-Mach, the Ford Mustang, right? It's electrical Mustang, basically. It's supposed to be bad behind everything too. We can pull up and play with it, but I'm making a point in terms of the investment sector where you can see where now not that they're just gonna necessarily move, Ford bottom line to the degree where they can compete with a Tesla. Now it's just that they have the money because they got old money that they can invest in that to bring that product to service to the degree where they can probably eventually in the future start moving a lot of their fossil fuel vehicles more into what? Electrical vehicles. In that moment, that's when Ford can become a household name again, seriously. Because their biggest selling vehicle that they own is the what? I'm testing y'all a little bit. Now, what is the best selling vehicle that Ford owns? What is y'all probably know it off the top of your head without even think about it?
Oh, the F-150.
Boom. You didn't have to be rocket science to know that because it's the best, one of the best known utility work trucks out there on the planet dang near. Even in Iraq, they run around in Ford F-150s, Allah Akbar.
Big boy toys. Big boy toys.
You see what I'm saying?
Allah Akbar.
Yeah, on the back of a Ford F-150, killing with that poly traction, boy. I'm talking about thing. We'll catch out though. I ain't gonna talk too much trash about Ford.
Yeah.
But y'all get my point. Is this stuff making sense, guys? You can invest even for dividend values.
Definitely.
That's the
Ford was one of my first Robin Hood stocks.
Yeah, they'll give you that Ford stock real fast too. On the free stock, they'll throw that Ford to you so fast. It's low beta, low volatility. It doesn't require a whole lot. It doesn't make any kind of egregious moves. They just missed on earnings reaches. That's why I stock back down to what? $8.10. And it's weird too because a little bit it was up there near $11 around near $12 back in 2018, around about summer 2018, right? Then it dropped off the map again, hit a low, somewhere around that, but about what 850, whatever, right? Got back up as high as near 10 back in 2019, around the summer 2019. And then it just fell off the map again, literally about a few weeks ago when they dropped their earnings report. They missed on earnings and the stock came all the way down to $8.10. So right now, unless there's some more bad news down the pipeline, Ford, down there $8 and $8.10, that's somewhat of a good investment, right? For people who just want to get what? The dividend or capture any kind of move back to the upside, back to a point where it was trading at near this point here around about near $9, right? Roughly about near what? $1 some change from now. That's how you learn how to invest in terms of stocks that may be attractive as a what? A bottom buy. You see what I'm saying? A dip by opportunity, right? If $8 seems attractive now because it kind of hit those areas that bounced before, which it did here, it's obviously a lower point here, but you can go back and look at the history of Ford. See that line right there where it's trending right there? It kind of hung around as a great support, a pivot or a resistance point for Ford around that $8 area, right? Close to that, hanging around $10 a share. You see what I'm saying? So guess what? If you put 10,000 on Ford just for the dividend, right? Well, what's 7% of 10 grand? Y'all see where I'm going with this? So 7% of 10 grand, that's roughly about what?
Let's get the number.
700, close about what?
Yeah.
What is it like $700 something like that?
Yep.
So you get $700 in about 22 days just investing it just for the what? For the dividend.
Yep.
Not bad at all.
And if the stock price goes up too, you also get what? Get that bag too.
Yeah. Well,
so again, I'll share my screen and go on mute. But again, these are long-winded conversations because you can't just put it all into a conversation in one moment. But you seeing this stuff, guys, y'all can see exactly what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? To the degree where it can make sense to you guys, whether you want to learn this or not, or see that you already can do it and you're not necessarily giving yourself credit for it.
Yep. Yep. Hey, listen, I thank you guys for this build today. We got it in. You got it in. Chris, I think you almost got to go to work now. Ain't it?
I've been at work for the last 2 hours.
That's it. See,
I
getting
ain't,
it in
I
on the
don't,
job. See.
I
All talk.
don't do nothing here. I sit down and do this type of stuff right here. Watch videos, listen to YouTube, and study and research. I don't do nothing in my job, so it's a job. Mr. Charlie is somewhere at home, relaxing. I'm out here on his time.
I ain't mad at
You
it.
know what I'm saying? Use him to get where you need to go, right? Because he's using you, right?
Yep.
To be free right now on the golf course, well, eating Cheeto, looking retarded. Like, he don't deserve that.
Right. So I
Mhm.
definitely just want to definitely remind the family, hey, if you haven't invested or sent any donations to any HBCUs, you can donate to mine. And I appreciate Brother African Emporium and Chris for taking time, and Marquise for taking time to educate me and get me caught up to speed and familiarize and give a little crash course on a Saturday. Y'all could be everywhere else. So I'm thanking everybody who for tuning in the chat. I was on my channel today. Woo woo. Um, so make sure you guys
Build it up.
subscribe.
Definitely
Subscribe.
Mhm.
subscribe, guys,
Yeah,
and share this one. Because guess what? See, this one here don't cost you nothing to share, right? I mean, this is a,
that's
a worthy share. It's clean. It's informative. It's about something that you can say I can 100% feel comfortable about putting my name behind. Whether you learn it or you don't, but it's just information that could be very edifying to a person. You see what I'm saying? So share it. You see what I'm saying? Get more feedback from it. Invite people to these kind of conversations because we need to have more discussions like this. Nothing against the other one, but y'all know where I'm going when I'm saying it. This is something that can help your bottom line, like tangibly, like right away. You
Yeah.
know
right.
what I'm
And we
saying?
need
That's what I'm saying. So share
right.
it.
And when you think it in terms of coming up with your programs for the summer, as Chris alluded to earlier, this is something that you could get funding for to get a summer project going. It's time out for having these summer camps and all the kids do is run around all day, right? We got to give them something extra, and even if it's just an hour a day to get them to start. And then next year maybe they'll be a little bit more focused. But we getting beat out. We getting beat out because other folks, their kids are in tech conferences and
Mhm.
doing things with STEM and maybe some medical other related career fields where they know is either they're gonna be hired or they're gonna take over a company someday. So we have to start giving our kids something more than just play. So when they get into college or they get on their own, they won't have to be thinking that 90% of their day goes towards play.
Right. Glorified playground. That's all it is for parents to go do what they need to do. Kids ain't really learn a whole lot. Man,
Mhm.
that bores me when I see that. I'm like,
Yeah, but we set them up for that when we put them in. They come out of the regular schools and then they go to summer camp, and summer is all nothing productive, nothing project wise or anything. They just playing all day.
you know
You
what
know,
they trying to find that
come
one
from
athlete they can make millions off of.
yep,
They ain't trying
play
to
at
make
home
be intelligent because China go to school what year round,
year
right?
round.
They don't even play around. That's why they come over and get these little the jobs and degrees and jobs, and man, go out there and run. Man, look at him. I'm just saying, whatever. But to each
We
his
asking
own,
why we behind.
right?
Yes.
There you go, brother Chris.
And not just them, other countries come ahead of us. Folks talk about immigrants here, immigrants there, and them getting the shops and the businesses and the education. Well, most of them, when they come here, a lot of them when they come here, they already got masters to our little bachelors.
Right.
Coming out of school, so they already ahead of us because they get into the meat and potatoes of academics. Sewu Jao last night when he was doing his live stream, he was going over some chemistry stuff. We was in the session freestyle. So think
Right.
about it. We gotta stop thinking, oh, we gotta wait till that person's 18 or they're 25 or this or whatever. And them kids are showing signs of uncomprehension. You gotta hit them, just start exposing them to the advanced academia early. Get
Right.
their reading skills up, get their mathematical skills up. and then showing them how to apply it, whether it's in the stock market or it's in business, or if it's in everyday household upkeep.
That's it. ESG.
ESG.
That's
I
it,
like that.
guys. So thank you
ESG.
so much,
2020.
Sister Mo, for inviting me. Over, Chris, you guys are always, man, like, man,
Yeah.
I tell you, I keep saying we, we don't, we ain't the ones right here throwing titles on ourselves, calling ourselves what we not. But I tell you what, one thing we can own is that we are financial vanguards. Meaning we are learning in our own right to produce, something that could be transferable onto our children and their future, right? And it's backed by, again, demonstration. It's backed by information and data that could be verified in a lot of ways. So by that token, we are in a position just because we touch it and will continuously touch it, we can only grow from it, right? It doesn't come with a certification. It doesn't come with you
Right.
having to spend so many hours in the university to be acknowledged at it, as
Yep.
someone that's a part of it. It really doesn't. All you need is a smartphone, right? And the game is gone. I mean, it's
Right.
on at that point. And that's what I love about it, is because it doesn't take a whole lot, again, extracurricular endeavors to learn this, when you could just take time, find out how to allocate 15 minutes a day, go on YouTube, listen to an audio book file about investing, or just
Right.
listen to a video about someone speak about investing. If you can't even watch it, then go back and watch it later and see exactly what they're talking about. Let it permeate your psyche a little bit. Let it actually agree with what you already know in terms of financial values and financial literacy, to the degree where you can take it to the next level, right? That's what it's all about. And so I'm just excited to be a part of you guys. Ubuntu, as I always say, we have a great little village in our own little right, a little group, and all everybody that pay attention through us, through the, whether it be the Dagger Squad, Amarat, Sadna, any of that conscious community, any of it. I don't care what, anybody that want to, better their situation than when they are, I'm
Right.
excited to be a part of it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you
Thanks,
guys.
Mo.
Power and profit to the chat. Thank you guys for
Remember, in
tuning in.
2 hours, 4 p.m. Eastern,
Oh,
Stash
oh,
party, baby. Stash
oh no,
party.
that's 30 minutes, 36 minutes.
Well, yeah. I'm tripping. Yeah. So be
I'm
there or be scared. Either one.
wait, real
Stash getting
quick.
ready to drop some shares off, ain't it? That's at
Wait,
4 o'clock.
real
Yes,
quick.
sir.
Yeah,
Wait, real quick,
go ahead.
Chris, that you bring
Break it
it up.
down. You're gonna break that stuff down real quick, over.
Yeah, wait a
Yeah.
minute. Let me go back to that real fast. Hold on. Let me see. I
Yeah.
think I still got it. Hold on. I think I still got it up.
Make sure y'all click that link. After 4:15, you can't get in. It's over. The party is over. So between 4 and 4:15, if you're on Central Standard Time, that's 3. West Coast, it's 2 hours for me, so it's 1 o'clock. Mountain Time is, 2 o'clock, whatever. So
Okay,
make sure
so
y'all there.
once you sign in, okay, so you should be signing in at 4 o'clock, right?
Yeah, it'll tell you. It'll tell you as soon as you log in. It'll tell you what you get. It's like a surprise party.
Oh, okay. That's what
Yeah,
I
so
was wondering.
they've been doing this for, I don't know how long they've been doing it. I've been missing out. I know that. So I got Costco the other day. I got Clorox, Harley Davidson, a whole bunch of other stocks. Like I said, y'all don't have to keep these stocks. You can sell them and just take the money. It's up to you.
Right. That's what I keep, explaining to people who sign up and get our accounts like Webull and all these other ones. They're literally trying to give away free money. And people always think it come with some kind of strings attached, or they finna run your credit. All that. How people get scared out of people. I understand.
Yeah.
But that's why we do these type training videos, so you can, we can unpack it for you in a way where you don't see, we pretty much show you that it ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? What your misconception may be, and you can see it in real time, especially most opens up per account, and demonstrates it for you guys. And we speak it in the same way and show you. So come on, guys, let's get it. And keep in mind, again, let me put that out there. If you haven't opened up any kind of investment account to date, do not open up any one of those accounts. I know you're excited, without using somebody's referral link. So anytime you come on live and speak about this moment, make sure you reiterate that in the beginning of your bills and also afterwards. Because you know how people get excited and then they run off and forget that they can get some free money. So both of y'all want to benefit, right? So make sure you tell them, Do not open up any new account without using somebody's referral link. That way, both of y'all can get some free money.
Yes, please do. All the links are in the chat. You know, Webull, Stash, Acorns, Robinhood. Please click those links. Do not, like Oprah just said, take advantage of everybody getting money. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Do not go to the don't go to the Play Store or the Apple Store and sign up. Sign up through those links, please.
Facts.
Okay. All right. Thank you all. Peace out.
See y'all
Until
next
till
time.
Wednesday, Urban Economic Empowerment Show, 6 o'clock Wednesday. Peace. Y'all have a good day.
All right,
Peace, everyone. Peace and
Oh,
power.
they're giving out Disney today. Dope.
Look at that. You finna get paid. Get it, bro. Get it, bro. All right,
Getting on
guys.
Disney.
All
All
right,
right.
peace, y'all.
See y'all, everyone. See everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, peace.
Let me get this thing up.